मतलब man woman. Jai Jinendra. That's better. Okay. थोड़े से feedbacks लूंगा. I think we have had a great day 2 at Khoj 2. So couple of feedbacks I would like to take from a couple of individuals. कोई volunteer करना चाहता है और अपना एक experience बताना चाहता है कि आज पूरे दिन में उसने क्या किया, what different did he do, या फिर क्या सीखा कुछ अलग. तो यहाँ पर कोई व्यक्ति है जो एक volunteer who would like to volunteer and say something? Do we have a volunteer here? Oh my God, मतलब it's a big question mark. के do you want to say something? आपको कुछ बोलना है? Okay.
So yeah, I think I participated in both the debates yesterday, and जब साहेब जी का सुबह का session था, I think it gave us a third angle to whatever we discussed yesterday, in terms of tolerance, fashion, whatever. I mean, fashion was today's morning topic, but whatever we discussed yesterday, when those points were put forward to Sahib ji for his clarity, even yesterday when we had a discussion with Sahib ji, he gave a totally different angle to it. So it also kind of, it forced me for today evening's topic, though I'm not part of the debate while I was preparing. I was just thinking from Sahib ji's point of view, कल सुबह साहिब जी क्या बोलेंगे, मैं आज शाम को इसको यहाँ पे अरेस्ट कर लूँ, ताकि कल सुबह साहिब जी का हम और कोई चीज में we take his views on different other topics. So that was the thing. Yeah, thank you.
So that's very nice. मैंने day 1 मिस किया था, तो I'm actually regretting कि क्यों मैं day 1 पे नहीं आया. But the kind of प्रवचन जो साहिब जी दे रहे हैं, जो depth है साहिब जी के प्रवचन के अंदर, and the kind of knowledge is mind-boggling. I mean, he's talking about submarine. One gentleman said, we bought the submarine and we should have copied. And Sahib ji, like, it was bought from Russia. Collaborated and it was got from there eventually. So the kind of knowledge, he's so updated with so many things. Matlab, I can't even think about it. So itna knowledge hai, Sahib ji ke saath, you sit with him, even probably a CM or a PM or the biggest of intellects come and sit with Sahib ji, and he has something to definitely be on the same page. So that is the kind of knowledge Sahib ji has, and we are really, really lucky to have a mentor like him. Trust me, we are very, very lucky to have a mentor like him, who जो अपने इतने busy schedule में, जिनको शासन का इतना काम है, तीर्थ रक्षा का इतना काम है, who does not have time for anything. He's so busy with all the शासन के कार्य, he is removing time for us. So I think that is a big salute to him, and we really should be thankful कि हमको ऐसे गुरु भगवंत मिले, ऐसे हमें मेंटोर मिले जो हमें इतने अच्छे से हैमरिंग और इतनी साइंटिफिकली और लॉजिकली बात कर रहे हैं. साहिब जी इज अ स्ट्रॉन्ग बिलीवर. इनफैक्ट अपना जैन धर्म भी यही कहता है कि डू इट विथ लॉजिक. सिंपल, अपना जैन धर्म में हर एक चीज का लॉजिक है. अंधविश्वास तो बिल्कुल कहीं पर भी नहीं है. तो हर एक चीज आप कर रहे हो उसे लॉजिकली कीजिए. एंड इफ यू डोंट अंडरस्टैंड एनीथिंग, साहिब जी इज ऑलवेज देयर. गुरु भगवंत महात्मा हमेशा है हमारे साथ, हमें गाइड करने के लिए. तो आई थिंक वी शुड ऑलवेज लुक फॉरवर्ड फॉर दीज, एंड अ बिग राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज फॉर साहिब जी. ही इज नॉट हियर, बट यस, आई थिंक ग्रैटिट्यूड टू हिम. आज सुबह से जो प्रवचन हुए, डिबेट हुआ, तो एक नटशेल में आई वुड लाइक टू टेक यू थ्रू विद सम स्टैटिस्टिक्स, बिकॉज talking is one part of the story, but if you have numbers with you, आप अगर statistically कुछ बात कर रहे हो तो उस बात में कुछ ठोस मुद्दा होता है. So taking to culture, कल शाम का जो हमारा डिबेट था, that was what was yesterday's debate? Thank God, culture and environment was one. What was the other topic? Liberty. So we had liberty, culture and environment. So was a सब टॉपिक, राइट, बट उसमें काफी देर तक चर्चा चली, तो वो मेन टॉपिक हो गया. सो एनीवेज, आज साहिब जी ने उसके बारे में क्लियरेंस दिया था. कुछ स्लाइड्स आपको बताता हूं जो स्टैटिस्टिक्स के साथ बात करता है कि व्हाट काइंड ऑफ लिबर्टी इंडिया में जो है, मॉरल पुलिसिंग है जो यूएस में नहीं है. वी थिंक मॉरल पुलिसिंग नहीं होनी चाहिए. सो उसके लिए कुछ स्टैटिस्टिक्स है, मैं बताता हूं कि व्हाट वे इज इंडिया गोइंग एंड वेयर आर द अदर कंट्रीज गोइंग. सो क्विकली, कैन वी हैव द स्लाइड 1? क्राइम रेट अगर आप ले लो, इंडिया is at the 54th rank, right? Numbers are right in front of you, and USA is 939 times of India. तो imagine कितना क्राइम रेट आपको यूएस में मिलेगा. ऑस्ट्रेलिया, यूके का डेटा हमको नहीं मिल पाया, बट ऑस्ट्रेलिया is 10 times of India. Canada ranks second, that is 579 times of India. तो सोचिए क्या लेवल पे क्राइम हो रहा है वहां पर. So this again reflects directly to the kind of culture. इंडिया में कैसा कल्चर है, यूएस में कैसा कल्चर है, द नंबर्स से इट ऑल. I don't even have to say anything. See the numbers and you'll say, yaar, come on, the culture definitely makes a difference. So यहाँ पर this is serious assault. उसके नीचे there are frauds. The number of frauds that happen across the world. So if you see, US is at number 2, UK is number 3, and Canada is number 7, and India is still back at number 13. So imagine again, लिबर्टी का फायदा कहाँ ज्यादा हो रहा है और कहाँ दुरुपयोग हो रहा है. आई थिंक वी शुड कीप लुकिंग एट इट. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज. Drugs use again, kind of drugs use, that drug abuse I should in fact say. So if you see that it's 0.4% in India, 10th rank, USA is 3rd. I mean, so if you see जितना ज़्यादा literacy ऊपर literacy rate लिखा हुआ है, so if you see UK is 99% and it is ranked number 1 in drug abuse. UK statistics. So अगर देखो जो higher the education, more the people are educated, higher the drug abuse. So I mean वही ratio अभी मुझे समझ में आ रहा है. So if you see US 3rd, Australia 99% literacy, rank 5th. India का literacy level देखिए 69.3% and it is 10th. So I'm sure आप समझ रहे हो कि where I'm coming from, कि culture definitely India hands down wins. But when it comes to culture which is out of India, liberty, it has been misused. I mean, हम लोग liberty के नाम पे नारा लगाते हैं, हमें free चाहिए, free चाहिए, free चाहिए. But guys, we don't understand कि liberty के नाम पर we are going to be wasting ourselves. तो culture is very important, definitely important. साहिब जी ने इसको बार-बार दोहराया है. But these numbers, I think you should really, really look into. Next slide, please. Guns per 100 residents. This is very interesting. इसका मतलब क्या है? 100 घरों में कितने गन्स पाई गई है? यूएसए में 21 times of India. So 88 guns in 100 houses. Imagine 100 houses में 88 घर. Australia 15, Canada 30, and India you'll find about 4 guns in 100 houses. Very interesting this is. I think if you want to know the sources, you can definitely come back to me off the stage. आपको बताऊंगा कि ये sources कहाँ से है, how legitimate is this data from. So meet me off stage. I will show you where the data has come from. Next. Divorce rate again less than 1% in India. US में what 40%, 50%, UK में 42%. So for them, marriage is just a game. You know, 40% of divorce rate is insane. 11 median marriage मतलब एक शादी व्यक्ति की कितने महीनों तक, सालों तक चलती है. तो एवरेज यूएसए में 11 साल इज द एवरेज. 11 साल के आगे डिवोर्स एवरेज बता रहा हूं आपको. आफ्टर दैट यूके इज अगेन 12 years. दैट्स इट. So these are very, very surprising and eye-opening facts we should all start considering. Next slide, please. Lone parent. Again, next slide. Next slide. Next slide. हेल्थ केयर एक्सपोजर, जैसे साहिब जी ने बात हुआ, अपने का दोपहर का टॉपिक था, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ एक्सपोजर डू वी गेट. वी शुड गो अब्रॉड एंड प्रॉब्ली गेट मोर एक्सपोजर. वहाँ पर ज़्यादा है, ज़्यादा नहीं है. तो यहाँ पर यूनियन बजट 2018, यू कैन रीड इट योरसेल्फ, बट आई रीड फॉर यू. आयुष्मान भारत टू बी द वर्ल्ड्स बिगेस्ट हेल्थ केयर स्कीम, सेज पीएम मोदी. नेक्स्ट. National Health Protection Scheme, which will cover over 10 whooping crore people and vulnerable families, providing coverage of up to 5 lakh rupees per family per year. So if you see, the healthcare exposure in India is on next level, guys. We don't know things. Just because we don't know things, we start assuming things just because I've heard someone else talking about it. So instead of just assuming, I should start getting to facts. Next. Rupees 1,200 crore allotted to 1.5 lakh health and wellness centers to provide comprehensive health care. Next slide. डिफेंस रिजर्वेशन, साहिब जी ने इसके बारे में भी आज दोपहर के प्रवचन में कहा था कि इंडियंस को डिफेंस में द यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका के लोग जो होते हैं उनको एनरोल नहीं करते, विच इज अ फैक्ट. इट इज रिटन इन द मेमोरेंडम ऑफ द US military, the ITAR, which says regulations dictate that information and material pertaining to defense and military related technologies may only be shared with US persons, will only be shared with US persons unless authorization from the Department of States is received or a special exemption is used. So this is written in a memorandum. See, they don't give you a chance. हम सोचते हैं कि we are going to go there and probably reach the moon, but it's not the fact. They don't even give you a chance to probably get into their military, yaar. So why are we even so? Why do we go so gungo over it? Yaar, nahi, let's go America. Let's do this. They're going to give you a chance. No, there is a better world here. Next slide. One of the major examples here is SpaceX. SpaceX. आपने SpaceX के बारे में सुना है? टेस्ला के बारे में सुना है? No. Elon Musk के बारे में सुना है? So Elon Musk is one of the most sought after entrepreneurs in the world today. He is making battery supercars which run on batteries. He is trying to send man on Mars. So this guy is truly a visionary. The kind of innovation, disruption he's getting into the industry is insane. तो इस व्यक्ति ने एक इंटरव्यू में बोला कि मैं पूरे दुनिया भर से लोगों को हायर करना चाहता हूं क्योंकि पूरी दुनिया में टैलेंट भरपूर है, especially in India, but he's not been able to do so because the government is not allowing him to do so because this falls under defense. Military, SpaceX falls under defense और उनको क्या बोलते permission नहीं मिल रहा है to get people from out of the country. So this is how biased other countries are. Next. Exposure restrictions, you can read it. Jobs, the policy of NASA to hire US citizens as civil servants. Education, the majority of NASA's education programs require US citizenship or enrollment in a US college or environment. These are very, very interesting facts. I mean, even I didn't know about it, but आज साहिब जी के साथ जो व्याख्यान सुना और उसके बाद जो fact sheet मिला है, I think these guys, this is a real food for thought. I think you should go back home and probably have a debate with yourself and understand, rather than just having debates here. We have some beautiful debates here, but you should go back to your bed, spend some time with yourself and have a debate with yourself. Okay, what am I doing? Am I doing the right thing or not? I think you should start having a debate with yourself. Very, very important. Next. All right. So this is a closure of what we did today. So facts और figures आपके सामने हैं. How does it feel? Is it worth going to the US or probably going out, or is it worth staying back in India? जो भी है, just tell me in facts so that we understand कि where are we going? I mean, so एक छोटा सा perspective देता हूँ मैं आपको. We are running short of time. One example. You're in Pune. You want to go to Chennai. ठीक है? आप पूना में हो, आपको चेन्नई जाना है. You take your car keys. दरवाजा खोला, गाड़ी चालू की, दरवाजा बंद किया, लगेज अंदर रखा, एंड यू स्टार्ट ड्राइविंग. गाड़ी आपने शुरू की, एक्सीलेटर पे पैर रखा, यू स्टार्ट ड्राइविंग. व्हाट 50, 60, 80, 100 की स्पीड में आप चले गए. करीबन 300 किलोमीटर की दूरी आपने ऑलरेडी पूरी कर ली है. 300 किलोमीटर होने के बाद आपके मन में एक संकोच आता है, आपके मन में एक डाउट आता है कि एम आई गोइंग इन द राइट डायरेक्शन? क्या मैं सही दिशा में जा रहा हूं या नहीं? You decide to park your car on the left. गाड़ी से उतरते हो और राह चलते व्यक्ति को आप पूछते हो, भैया क्या ये रास्ता चेन्नई जाता है? क्या ये रास्ता चेन्नई जाता है या नहीं? एंड टू योर सरप्राइज वो बोलता है नहीं, आप एग्जैक्टली ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन में चल रहे हो. आप तो दिल्ली के रास्ते में जा रहे हो, बट यू वांट टू गो टू चेन्नई, तो ये रास्ता गलत है. सो माय क्वेश्चन टू यू, आई हैव 2 क्वेश्चंस टू यू. Will you stop, give up? ऐसे नहीं यार, छोड़, अब गलत आ गया, कहीं नहीं जाना है मुझे, वहीं बैठ जाओगे, सरेंडर पूरा? सेकंड क्वेश्चन टू यू इज, क्या आप गाड़ी में फिर से बैठोगे और बोलेंगे चेन्नई जाना है, दिल्ली पहुंच गए, चलो दिल्ली घुमाए? Would you do that? Would you do that? You don't want to go to Delhi यार, you want to go to Chennai. गलत पहुंच गया तो चलो. या फिर थर्ड क्वेश्चन है, will you sit back in your car, take a U-turn, cover the distance and go back to Chennai? That's the important question. हम इतनी दूर से आ रहे हैं, we are going wrong, but I think somewhere we need to start realizing कि यार नहीं, शायद मैं जो दिशा में जा रहा हूं वो गलत है. I need to start thinking back, take a U-turn and go back, get the right direction. Yeah? Are you guys with me? Good. Okay. So अभी हम लोग आज का डिबेट शुरू करने वाले हैं, which is another interesting topic, which is religious donations versus social donations. So it's a very आज के youth के अंदर this topic is really very controversial. I as an individual also have two minds. So this debate is going to be a learning for me as well. Okay, how things actually should shape up in your minds. हम लोगों को क्या करना चाहिए? क्या religious donations? यहाँ पर when I say religious versus social, it does not mean social बिल्कुल करना ही नहीं है या religious बिल्कुल करना ही नहीं है. यहाँ पर बात ये है कि ज़्यादा important क्या है? Social और religious donations में important क्या ज़्यादा है? Should religious funding be given more importance या social funding को? All right. So we're going to be starting this debate, and I want all of you to involve as much as possible. Ask the dumbest questions. Get clarity, because when you're going back home, you need to have something in your head, not just go empty-handed, right? So get clarity, ask whatever you want to, let it be sensible, but ask, learn, and then let's go back home. All right, so I declare the debate open. This team will start with the opening.
Hi.
Sorry. So one thing I have from the audience is यहाँ पर 11 लोग हैं, यहाँ पर 9 लोग हैं. They are not happy with it. So we want a fair game. दोनों तरफ 9 रखेंगे. That's number one. So please decide what you want to do. या तो 11 करो या 9 करो. Meanwhile, can I? So any two members who want to be a part, Nishkrit, you want to choose? Who had the problem, by the way? Audience बोल रहे हैं. ठीक है, हो गया अब 9-2-11. Anyways, jury, can I invite the jury on the stage? Can we quickly have the jury on the stage, please? We'll start the debate. So guys, are we ready? Good. You can start with your opening. Once you finish your opening, then this team will start with their opening, and then we will move to the audience.
Hi. So we'll be speaking. So I'm already here. So we'll be speaking about why you should why should donate to social welfare of people, that is social institutions like schools and colleges. And here the philosophy that we are following is Purusharth hi Manav ki seva hai. That is, we believe that God actually exists in every single one of us, irrelevant of your religion. So if we serve to every person, every human being, then we are indirectly serving God. So I believe that, in fact, if we, for example, if we donate to institutions, then we are generating employment, we're generating education for the people who are not getting education right now, so they become capable of employment. And yeah.
So here हम लोग इसको दो चीजों में बांटेंगे. First, number one is social donations के अंदर पहले आता है institutional donations. So when I say institutional donations, donation to research centers, that is medical research, for example, तो वो होगा. उसके बाद we are going to be going to hospitals, उसके बाद educational institutes. So we are going to be touching every part so that we go in a flow. So number one, we are going to be touching is research institutions. So research institutions का जो हमारा funding होता है, तो उसमें क्या reach होता है? Say for example, I fund a research organization, say 1 crore rupees, but उससे 1 crore rupees से कितने लोगों तक वो 1 crore rupee पहुंचता है? So that is what we mean by reach. ठीक है? So yes. So yeah.
Hi, so our team is of an opinion that both hospitals and temples are important for the society. But if given a chance, if given, option, like where we would like to invest our money is we would like to build temples for the society. Okay. What temple will help you is to, keep the religion alive and keep people inclined towards the religion.
तो इनका कहना है कि टेम्पल अगर हम लोग बनाते हैं हमको डोनेशंस टेम्पल में देना चाहिए, क्योंकि अगर टेम्पल्स पे डोनेशन देंगे तो हमारा रिलीजन जिंदा रहेगा, और जिंदा रहेगा तो क्या होने वाला है?
तो ऑटोमेटिकली वो जो उनका लाइन था हिंदी में, कैन यू रिपीट दैट प्लीज? वो लाइन ऑटोमेटिकली जिंदा रह जाएगा क्योंकि द टेम्पल विल सपोर्ट एवरी मैन, तो ऑटोमेटिकली वो इंसान जिंदा रह जाएगा.
गुड, यू कैन गो अहेड.
So nowadays, India needs social work. So there are more unemployment. There is more poverty, and lack of education facility and health facility, which medium class people or lower class people cannot afford. So we should also target what is right now needed. Yes, the belief is okay, but now what? Now we should build for that social welfare.
So इनका कहना है कि सोशल वेलफेयर मतलब नीड ऑफ द आवर ये है कि वहां पर हमें जो आज के जो समय में जो जरूरी है, आई थिंक उसको एड्रेस करना चाहिए, ना कि हमें मंदिर जाकर वी शुड स्पेंड मोर टाइम इन द टेंपल. तो बोलते हैं नीड ऑफ द आवर इज हेल्पिंग पीपल ऑन ह्यूमैनिटी बेसिस. यू हैव समथिंग टू से?
Yeah. So
Sorry, did I go wrong?
We can go to temple, and we have temple right now. There is nothing that you should not go to temple.
Right, you should go to temple but not spend money on the temple is the point. Okay, we have one gentleman who wants to say something.
Excuse me. So we are following a structure over here. Yeah, we are following a structure over here. So right now we'll be discussing about the reach, and then we'll come to these points. Which So let's follow the structure. So
okay.
Yeah.
So there are two parts to the debate, as you can see on the screen. First is about the reach, which is the number of beneficiaries that are affected by each sector. And again, the topic is religious sector, social sector. It's not about temple. Think broad. Religious sector can be more than temples. Social sector can also be very broad. Think as broad as you can, but keep it structured. First, reach, number of beneficiaries. Just say what is the reach of the religious sector, what is the reach of the social sector. Next, go on the impact. Yeah. Even within impact, we'll consider in a possibly exhaustive way कि अलग-अलग चीजों को नेक्स्ट स्लाइड में आएगा, वो अभी नहीं, लेकिन पहले इम्पैक्ट नहीं करना है, पहले सिर्फ रीच पे फोकस करना है.
To add on, so 5 हम क्यों कह दे रहे हैं कि सेकंड स्कोप जो इम्पैक्ट है उसके अंदर 5 अलग अलग टाइप है, बिकॉज हम लोग ने सोचा है, क्लासिफाई किया है टोटल डोनेशन किधर किधर जा रहा है. तो उसमें से जो सर ने बोला था, अमन साहब ने बोला कि मेडिकल रिसर्च इंस्टीट्यूट्स, एजुकेशन, हॉस्पिटलाइजेशन, individuals in calamities, etc. There are 5 topics, so we'll evaluate each vis-a-vis religious causes, so it can be structured. Otherwise मतलब start करेंगे education से, second point आ जाएगा medical पे, and none of them will be answered properly. That is the thought.
मेरा क्वेश्चन सोशल जो फेवर करे उनसे, कि एक्चुअली आपने बोला कि हॉस्पिटल में पैसा देना चाहिए या मेडिकल इंस्टीट्यूशन में पैसा देना चाहिए. तो मेरा क्वेश्चन है कि मेडिकल इंस्टीट्यूशन जो रिसर्च करता है,
आई एम वेरी सॉरी, आई हैव टू स्टॉप इट राइट देयर प्लीज. दिस इज ओनली अबाउट द रीच, नंबर ऑफ बेनिफिशियरीज. यू कैन ask a question, but when we come to the impact, please, unless your topic is about number of beneficiaries. Was it about the number of beneficiaries? No. I'm very sorry, but we need to enforce a structure now.
ठीक है, आपकी टीम से कोई बोलना चाहता है? कोई
अमन भाई, please ensure this, please.
Okay, so with regards to the reach or the number of beneficiaries, a couple of points. One is that a lot of free education and a lot of free, basically a lot of free services are seen in the developed countries that are being given. And in comparison to that, if we see, also the amount of security that they have is very high. So for a one little district, the kind of security, let's say in about 3 seconds you have a policeman coming to you with an armed policeman coming to you. That's the kind of security that you find. Whereas if you see in a country like India, where the population is so much, and the kind of security that you see that a district gets is probably one person with a lathi, but yet the crime rate over there is much higher versus the crime rate here. Even though you can say they are more literate, but education happens with culture, and that comes from religion, which is why religion has impacted a lot more in India, in the society.
So I think since you've applauded for her, I think she's covered the entire khoj. I mean, yesterday and today in like one pointer only. So very good. Thank you so much. We have one gentleman who wants to say something.
रीच का बोला है, तो रीच आपने बोला कि सॉरी सोशल सर्विस में डोनेट करना चाहिए. सोशल सर्विस में डोनेट करने के बाद वो स्पेसिफिक लोगों के लिए ही वो काम में आएगा. जैसे अगर हॉस्पिटल में डोनेट किया है तो हॉस्पिटल कब जाएगा इंसान? जब वो बीमार है. और कितने जाएंगे? जितना पॉपुलेशन है उसमें से 10% 20%. बट अगर मंदिर में, और ये मंदिर और जो रिलीजियस सेक्टर है वहाँ पे लोग मन शांति के लिए, अपने मन में शांति आनी चाहिए, अपने विचार और अपनी जो भावनाएं वो शुद्ध और अपना मन शांत होना चाहिए. इसके लिए हम मंदिर में रिलीजियस सेक्टर में जाते हैं.
Calm as a water. बोलते हैं हम अपने आत्मा की शांति के लिए मंदिर जाते हैं, मंदिर में बैठते हैं कुछ देर, you get a sense of peace. तो ये बोल रहे हैं कि वो जाते तो उसमें ये मिलता है, बट अगर हम लोग सोशल में कुछ इन्वेस्ट करें तो कितने लोगों को मिलेगा? Say 10%. Is it worth spending your money on such things? We have one gentleman who wants to say something.
Excuse me, I want to counterattack that. Reaction. React. I want to react to that.
I'll give you a chance. Just wait. I'll call you. Just raise your hand and I'll give you a chance. Yeah.
Hi. In the world, like 80% people are religious. It's not necessary from India or abroad. Like even Christianity is a religious in a way. So 80% of the population is a rich compared to 20%. Okay. So in a way, this donation actually, if I counter, हम पूरा वर्ल्ड का बात करेंगे तो कैसा होता है? नॉर्मली स्कूल्स, क्रिश्चियन स्कूल्स चलते हैं. देयर आर लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स गोइंग ऑन. ऐसा नहीं है कि डोनेशन सिर्फ मंदिर बनाने में होता है. इवन इन इंडिया देयर आर लॉट ऑफ वैदिक स्कूल्स एंड ऑल गोइंग ऑन. सो इट्स नॉट नेसेसरी कि रिलीजियस फैक्टरीज के खाली मंदिर ही बनता है. यहाँ पे बहुत सारा सोशल कॉज भी होता है वाया रिलीजियस डोनेशंस.
So I couldn't really get the point what he was trying to make, but we have another lady who wants to say something.
I'm not against going to religious temples. Yes, we can always pray for everyone, but I want to present the stats which I have seen. In the world, there are 10 million people dying due to chronic hunger, out of which 2.12 million people are from India, and 34 out of 1,000 children die in the mother's womb in India, which is because she does not get any medical treatment. And 27% of death happens due to lack of medical facilities in India. And more than half of the India rejects the government care which is available from the side of the government, because many people find that government hospitals are not more hygiene. So I feel that we need to build on more in hospitals, or for education we need to build more colleges and schools.
So इनका कहना है कि
I want to add one thing.
Sure.
I want to answer my friend. So you only told us that 80% of the people goes in religious, and now we saw that 69% of the Indian population is literate. So there is more need for literacy, and that's why social welfare. And we are not against going to temple. We just want now to donate for social.
Also, to the point, he said that there are 80% of people who in the world who follow some religion, but here the problem is they follow different religions. So if you are donating to a particular religion, it might reach that particular community, not the whole community there. There might be people of other religion living there, where they cannot avail the religious benefit of the place who belong to another community. Whereas if you donate to social institutions, every single part of society, every single religion, every person can be treated there equally, and everyone has a chance to reach them.
So he wants to say age no bar, designation no bar, caste no bar. Everybody is the same. So hospital mein aao, no religion will be asked, no caste will be asked. You will be treated unbiased. I think this is what he wanted to say. We have another gentleman who wants to say something. Counter that.
One sec, I'm just going to take the topic of that hospital. आप लोग को मालूम है कि अगर हम लोग पर्सनली हॉस्पिटल बनाए तो आप छोटा मोटा गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल बनाओगे या प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल बनाओगे? सबसे पहली बात प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल बनाओगे. आज मेरे को इंडिया में दिखाओ ऐसी प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल जहाँ गरीबों का इलाज होता हो.
Navneet Hospital.
That is
Navneet Hospital.
I think you will be given chance one by one.
जो अभी इन्होंने नाम लिया है ना, वो इनडायरेक्टली जो भी उस धर्म के गुरु उनके निशा में वो हॉस्पिटल बना होता है. सबसे पहली बात तो आप पीछे देखो रिजल्ट नहीं आता है. और
all right, I would suggest थोड़ा सा maintain रखे. Let's give everybody a chance to talk. I will give you a chance as well. आप complete कीजिए.
तो प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल्स में मेरे को आज तक तो आप अपोलो हॉस्पिटल ले लो या बड़े से बड़ी हॉस्पिटल ले लो, मेरे को उधर एक भी गरीब लाइन में खड़ा रहता है तो उसको बाहर भेज देते हैं कि आपके औकात के हिसाब से इधर पैसा देना पड़ेगा, औकात के ऊपर है पैसा. ये वो लोग गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल्स में ही इलाज कराएंगे. और आप बात करो कि जितने लोग मतलब बच्चों मम्मी के पेट में उनके डेथ हो रही है तो देखना कि गरीब लोग ही होंगे क्योंकि इनको इलाज गवर्नमेंट से बरोबर नहीं मिल रहा है. और आप प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल ही बनाओगे, आप गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल इतनी गरीब या हाइजीन आप देखना कि कितने अमीर लोग जाके गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल में डोनेशन देते हैं. सबसे पहली बात मेरे को गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल में हमारे से लोग शायद तक डोनेशन भी नहीं देते क्योंकि वो गवर्नमेंट से चालित होता है.
So I think ये फैक्ट्स की बात कर रहे हैं कि कितने अमीर लोग डोनेशंस एक्चुअली गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल्स में देते हैं. और जब बात रही प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल्स की, we don't find any people who are poor जो प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल्स में एक्चुअली लाइन में खड़े रहेंगे अपने ट्रीटमेंट के लिए. So that's a very good point he wanted to say.
Aman, adding on to that, प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल्स में लोग देते हैं बट क्या तुमको प्रॉपर है कि वो पहुंचता है उनके पास? लाइक लेट्स से प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल में तुमने दिया, वहां पे तुमको पता है कॉस्ट कितना इन्फ्लेटेड रहता है और देयर आर वेरी मच न्यूज के लोग वहां पे फुल तुम्हारा बिजनेस क्रिएट करके रखा है हॉस्पिटल्स का ही. तो प्राइवेट में दिया तो वो सब डॉक्टर के जेब में जाता है. जिस मोटिव के लिए वो रहता है कि किसी का भला होगा या कुछ अच्छा होगा, वो नहीं होता. और तुम गवर्नमेंट में तो डालोगे नहीं बिकॉज ऑल्सो गवर्नमेंट का जो हॉस्पिटल बनता है वो आता है आप हम सबके मनी से ही. सो इनडायरेक्टली तो आपका वो सोशल का काम हो ही जाता है. और अगेन टू अ पॉइंट, पुरुषार्थ का दो चीज से चलती है.
Okay, so
We are diverting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, I would like, though you had countered a particular point which was made before we started on the structure, I would like everybody to still follow the structure on the reach. We'll talk on education. Second topic आएगा impact में 5 bullets है. And we'll talk a lot. We have lot of time. If anybody has a point on reach, quantity of people.
I think I have a valid point to make on this, on the reach.
Sorry. So again, I am repeating. Sorry, but to get you or whoever. So again, we are only on the number of people who are impacted by religious donation vis-a-vis the donation for social causes. Okay, this is the only topic for the first point. In second point, we will cover impact in private hospital, impact of donation in government hospital, impact on. So maybe I would just add on. I give an example. The point which I think that guy and that guy raised was that number of people. He said that 80%. You counter it by saying that 69% are impacted. So that kind of discussion should take place in this particular bullet. Second bullet के लिए आपका point एकदम valid था. We'll touch base again on that. Sorry.
Yeah, and so far, so the team for social donations has touched the point of reach by presenting some statistics. Fair enough. So does the team for religious not have anything to say about the reach? If not, they should. I mean, they should. Now is the time to do so. I mean, what are you waiting for? Before countering their points, you should present that.
Okay, so I would like to present some statistics regarding building a temple. So let's take an example of Tirthadiraj Shatrunjay. Just because of a few temples on a small mountain, innumerable people are getting employment.
I have some statistics. 400 pujaris, 200 security guard, 1800 doli walas, pani ki parav wale, Shrifal wale, fool wale. These are directly related to Giriraj. Apart from that, Dharmashala, the staff in Dharmashala, Bhojanshala, Bhatagru, etc. Also due to Chomaswa, Ubdantap and Navanu, band walas, buggy walas, Hathi Gode walas, everyone gets an employment there. And they are dependent on this.
Wow, that is some
they
really
build their
good
business
statistics.
from it.
That is really good, some statistics. We have Manoj Bhai wants to say something.
आज मणिलक्ष्मी तीर्थ के निर्माणदाता आए थे यहाँ पे, उन्होंने भी बताया था कि उनके पास कितने लोग काम करते हैं और उससे ज़्यादा भी वहाँ पे कितने लोग विजिट करते हैं और मन की शांति पाते हैं. ये एक पॉइंट था. और एक छोटा सा पॉइंट जो इन्होंने बताया, डोनेशन करते हैं सब प्राइवेट में ज़्यादा ये वो, तो प्राइवेट में जो भी डोनेशन करते हैं वो बेसिकली उनका इंटेंशन है ना सोशल वेलफेयर का कम है और इनकम टैक्स का बेनिफिट लेने का ज़्यादा होता है. थैंक यू.
Thank you very much. We have another participant who wants to say something. One point will quickly.
Last thing, I want to add one more point.
I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. We have one gentleman who wants to say something.
So we say कि religion is open to all, right? So when we are building religious temples or XYZ, any institute, any upashraya, dharamshala, XYZ thing, we say कि it is open to all. Everyone can approach it, right? But similarly, we can also say कि social है, वहाँ पे भी everyone can be approached. Now, what I want to ask is कि when you are building religious temples, there are certain temples where you only allow restricted people. For example, in many temples, women are not allowed, right? In many temples, men are not allowed. So why is that? In social, there's no discrimination as such. सबको मिल रहा है, जिसके लिए सबके लिए है. तो यहाँ पे क्यों ऐसा?
So I think he put it in a different perspective, which was already there. कि यहाँ पर जैसे मैंने बताया, caste no bar, designation no bar, religion no bar. तो यहाँ पर अगर आप social welfare के अंदर पैसा डालते हो तो वैसा कोई भी biasism नहीं होगा. It will be completely biased. But जब मंदिर में आता है तो I think we have a different opinion here. You wanted to add something?
I want to just finish it. Like when we are doing a pilgrimage, so the Goda walas, rickshaw walas, rental cars, buses, etc., lari walas, galla walas, the Taleti road, all get employment. They run their businesses. They are not made to forced to do jobs. So they are dependent, totally independent, and it is like 8-figure giant community provides permanent employment to a huge 7-figure population, just directly and indirectly linked to temples. So that's a huge figure. Just an 8-figure community.
Wow, just an 8-figure community, and they're doing wonders. So that's a big number. We have them who are going to be contradicting to this.
Yes, my friend, you going there or shutting them down. We just want कि now the need is for unemployment and poverty. Now she will add on.
Okay, so I'll add 2 points to the outreach. So the first point which the gentleman said was regarding the building of a temple provides employment to a lot of people. So I would say once the temple is finished, the people who were involved in construction, they're finished with their employment. Will they get employment still? No. Then they'll be put up to some other thing. Maybe yes, maybe not, or maybe after some time gap. So there is no surety for that kind of employment. That's the first point. And the second point which I want to make was in the social field, which we said, you mentioned 3 sectors. One was medical research, second was number of hospitals, and third was educational institutions. So there has been a case study going on in the AIMS on Casper technology. A lot of fund has been provided by the government and private institutions where they have been researching on this technology, which is kind of trying to solve all the numerous problems which were earlier not solvable due to gene modification. So with the advancement of technology, you'll be able to impact the entire population of India who is suffering from those diseases which are incurable with the current technology.
So इनका कहना है कि मंदिर के बनने से थोड़े ही लोग, मतलब से हजारों लोग एम्प्लॉय होते हैं, बट मंदिर का जब निर्माण का काम कार्य फिनिश हो जाता है, So मंदिर का जब निर्माण का काम फिनिश हो जाता है, उसके बाद उन एम्प्लॉयड लोगों का क्या होगा? क्या उनको वापस जॉब मिलेगा भी, या तो कब? But when you open a hospital or something like that, people are completely employed for the, till the hospital would ever close. So we'll quickly take a review from the live. We have an audience on live who's chatting with us, and they're saying they want to put across the point. So can we have someone quickly take that?
So we have we have a big audience online, and Maulik Shah has made a very interesting point related to the debate. Says it's a very nice topic and always was on top of his mind. Most important, the way he's summed it up is ideally we should have a combination of both, is what he says, and basically to ensure that our culture is safeguarded, but at the same time we donate to temples should be used for our people. A classic example why we have more Jain schools in our city that way. Our money will be in safe hands and can be used appropriately in our Jain Samaj. So basically, he says we should have a combination of both temples and hospitals.
So combination of two, you should invest in temples as well as you should invest in donate in the social welfare aspect as well. So we have this team who wants to say something, Divesh. All right, you can give me a count as well.
Right. First of all, a counter from somebody in the audience who said that there's discrimination in a temple, whereas in a hospital everybody's allowed. Let's first establish what discrimination means. There's no discrimination against any community or the gender. It is just that a temple is an area of positive vibes, is an area of positive zone, or area of some zone. A few elements can probably disturb that zone. That's why some people are not allowed. That is no discrimination. And if that is discrimination, then I'm sorry. In ICUs, people aren't allowed to go in. Do you call that discrimination as well? If that is discrimination in a temple? Point one. And whereas my friend, you spoke about the point. What was your second point? I'm so sorry. True. So he spoke about number of people getting impacted by medical research is much higher, and there is a research happening where you can do gene modification and diseases can be solved. True. What I want to ask you a simple question is, diseases and problems are caused when a person is not internally satisfied, internally happy. That is a scientific research where every disease, the root cause is either depression, the root cause is person is not happy physically. All right. A temple ensures that root cause is eliminated, and a temple also ensures that that person is happy internally. He has a peace of mind when he's in a temple. And there's a research that for a month, if everybody visits a temple for 5 minutes daily, that person naturally becomes more calm. That person naturally thinks more clearly. That person naturally is happier from inside.
So he says that just a minimum of 5 minutes to a temple on a daily basis can actually make you more calm, make you more sorted in life. We have an against team over here who wants to say something.
Good evening, everybody. So a lot of points have been exchanged, and there are a lot of points that I would like to make, but everything's not going to come into and not at once. So I'll go back to the fundamental point, and I'll make a question to all. Let's identify first what is the purpose why we go to a temple versus what is the purpose where we need to avail. It comes down to reach, where we need to avail a social service, say a hospital in this case. The purpose for a temple is to go and attain a sort of calm, and you want to go worship and calm yourself. It's basically an internal talking, whereas a hospital is of a real need. It's say for example, if you're injured, you have to go there. Now let's talk of an alternative. Can you worship if there's no temple around you? Can you still choose to worship, say, at your home or in your office? Can you just close your eyes and still worship and have that peace of mind? Now, same, if my leg is bleeding, can I just, अरे यार, hospital दूर है, मैं bandage लगा के manage कर लूँगा? Is that possible? So now what is needed more if I have 100 rupees and if I can only spend it in one place? Can I go to the temple and heal myself, or can I go to the hospital and heal myself? So now what is needed first? First, I think the hospital is needed first. I have alternate places to worship. It need not be a temple always. Yes, if I have a temple, it's the best. But if I don't have a temple, I can still attain the peace of mind. But can I attain treatment? Second, now my friend tells me that, most of your diseases are stress related, so or depression. So are you going to tell me that, oh, I'm depressed, let me go bang into the car? No, if you're going to have a physical injury, no matter how much you worship every day, that cannot be satisfied. You need a hospital, you need a place. What happens when you open more and more hospitals is the cost of treatment comes down. When cost of treatment comes down, overall, everybody can afford healthcare. When they can afford healthcare, they have a better work balance life, and obviously everything, yes, they have less depression, and it's a hand-in-hand thing.
So in short, he wants to say is
I'd like to continue.
In short, he wants to say is you can also pray Wherever you're sitting, in your office, in your home, you don't necessarily have to go to the temple to pray. But when you're hurt and you're bleeding, I think hospital jana bahut zyada zaruri hai. So this is what he wants to say. Anybody in the audience who says nahi, temples are more important. Temples are more important.
अभी मैक्सिमम प्रॉब्लम्स जो होते हैं वो किसके लिए होते हैं? आपने बीमारियां बताई, कैंसर, बाकी के जो हीलिंग के प्रॉब्लम्स बताए, वो मैक्सिमम किसके कारण होते हैं? एक तो हम अच्छा फूड नहीं लेते, अच्छी चीजें नहीं करते, एक ओवर कंज्यूमरिज्म है। अभी ये ओवर कंज्यूमरेशन को अगर हम रिलीजियन के एस्पेक्ट में देखें तो हमारे साधु जी हैं कि कोई भी महात्मा लोग हैं, वो उसको मिनिमम वे से जीने का सिखाते हैं। तो जितना मिनिमम हम वैसे जिएंगे उतना मिनिमम वैसे ओवर कंज्यूमेशन कम होगा। और आप जो बोल रहे हैं कि इतने सब मेडिकल प्रॉब्लम्स के लिए हॉस्पिटल खोलना है, वो जरूरत ही नहीं गिरेगा।
Thank you very much. We have a lady here who wants to say something. काफी टाइम से वो कुछ कहना चाह रहे हैं, so I think I should give them a chance.
Still, मतलब I think we have digressed again from reach to impact. Sorry, but ये मतलब I think the example which was taken also was from impact, and the counter which was come from audience also on the impact. If I think we have completed on the reach and we do not have anything on the reach, then we should move on to next subtopic. We have, then we should stick to that. That's what my message is. Okay.
I actually have a small query to the jury. When we talk about beneficiaries, do we only talk about human beneficiaries? Do we talk about animals? Do we talk about the environment?
Yes, but the onus is on the people who are in the debate, the audience, to bring this up.
I just wanted to give a little bit of food for thought to the debate.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Much appreciated. We need not, there is no reason to restrict ourselves to humans. If you want animal kingdom, plant kingdom, you can extend yourself. Whole universe.
So अब हम जब
Okay, just a small point to this. Animals can definitely not worship.
Raise your hand, please. I'll appreciate that. Just a minute. So before that, he wanted to say is हमारा धर्म बहुत सूक्ष्म है. छोटे-छोटे जीवों का भी दान होता है यहाँ पर. Is what he wanted to say. Is we are not specifically on human, but यहाँ पर दान छोटे जीवों का भी हो सकता है, which are not even seen to your naked eyes. तो इतना सूक्ष्म हमारा धर्म है. And he's saying yes, we should in fact include everybody and not be just specific to humans.
Okay.
Right?
As a jury, I'm not saying anything. There was a question whether it can be extended beyond humans. I said yes. The onus is on the participants to extend it. The onus is on the audience to extend it. Please, by all means, extend it. I'll be very glad if you do so.
So
great. Sure. No, I'll give you a chance to.
So one of my friends mentioned a point that the तीर्थ पे जो employment होता है, instead so I'm coming to reach. Instead of that, if you make a hospital or if you build something else in the same amount of money, more number of people can be employed, and there are most of the temples or most of the religious places restrict. I would not like to name the religions, but people from other cultures or other religions are not allowed to go there. One more thing, like we are again sticking to humans only, talking about the reach for animals or other beings, the religious donations that we do for them, and the NGOs and other non-religious organizations working for the welfare of animals or environment is far more it is reached far more than the religious organizations have reached.
All right, thank you very much.
Excuse me. I just add to the point. Please do both
I'll
the
give you a
points, both
chance.
the
I'll come back. I'll come back. We have a lot of audience who are waiting here who want to say something. We have one gentleman who wants to say something.
Well, let's take it to the rural areas where temples are very common. And for the social things, it's not only hospital, but also school. So if you take it to the rural areas, if you open a hospital or a school, you provide employment along with the education and primary health care to it, which increases the employment of the people. They gain the knowledge, which can be further used to increase the mentality and change the living style in the rural regions.
All right, this girl here wants to say something.
As she said, hospital usually covers a sick class of people, but when we consider religious donation, so for like Jainism, we have Sat Kshetra. So it covers Jivdaya, it covers Anukampa Dan, and apart from Jainism, even Sikh have langars and langars. Many communities have donation in their own way.
So I have a point to it. So when
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so when you talk about the donations, especially in Jainism, so as we all are aware, Jainism has 4 sects: Shwetambar, Digambar, Murti Pujak, Shwetambar, Digambar, Terapanthi, and one more sect. So when we say, I am not aware till now that all the donations from all the sects are even combined and then fed to a common cause. If the donations within a same religion are
Excuse me,
not
we are
even
moving
combined,
out of the context. We are moving out of the
no,
context.
I'm just answering what she said. She said that, I'm answering just what she said.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but whereas if you take the donations for a social cause, that is not discriminating within anyone. But here, Shwetambar is donating separately for Jeev Deha. Terapanthi is donating separately for Jeev Deha.
So the question from the audience is, so what? Okay, anyways, you want to add something to the point, right?
Listen.
Yeah, so as Aman bhai rightly asked, so what? So please answer that.
Yeah, just please answer the audience question.
Yeah, so that means here you are getting more number of beneficiaries. There you are separately giving the monies, they're going separate ways. But here you're giving it to one particular sector and you are not discriminating here among the people. You're not discriminating among the 4 sects of Jainism.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, the end beneficiary is being benefited. So what? It's coming from different sector.
So what about the remaining
We are
people
not
who are
looking
not
at
benefited?
consolidation of donations. We are looking at beneficiaries, eventual beneficiaries. So, I mean, I would take that point as out of context, but yeah. So, if you have
I
something to
think
say
she
about
made a really valid point कि सात क्षेत्र की बात की है.
So the host can continue.
Yeah, so इन्होंने बहुत ही important बात की है. 7 क्षेत्रों में जो हमारे धर्म में जब पैसा allocate होता है, so it is very well thought of. जो हमारे तीर्थंकर भगवंत है, उन्होंने बहुत
Aman, I have a doubt. Is the debate social versus audience? Just a doubt.
Not really.
Can we?
It's right versus wrong.
Okay, so can we?
Anyways, I will come to you. We have an elder here who wants to say something.
I will only talk about reach. Okay, if you can answer me, just answer. First of all, you talked about कि in temples only there are limited sect of people who are allowed. You are wrong. Okay, if I will talk only particular about Jainism. Okay, Jainism is so wide. We have accepted all the caste, people from all the caste. Our Gandhar Bhagwant was a Brahmin. Okay, so there is first of all, so there is no discrimination. Second thing I will like to tell, कि we Jain, I will talk only about Jainism religion. Our religion doesn't only speak upliftment of humans. They speak upliftment of each and every living organism in this whole world, in this whole universe. You see the reach of it. Okay, and the live example is our Sadhu Bhagwans. If you check about our lifestyle of the Sadhu Bhagwans, ecologically, they are donating so much. A Sadhu Bhagwan, without giving any single updesh, he is giving so much to the ecology. He is giving so much to the environment. If you check, he is saving so much resources. What a lifestyle, amazing lifestyle they have. And it is beneficiary not only to humans, but to all living beings. Okay, so the reach is to the end, each and every living organism. Thank you.
Nishkit's team wants to say something. You
Okay,
can take
so
that.
yeah, so there was this point made, Sat Kshetras, and the religious doesn't only comprise of temples, but it has upashrayas, then your vihar groups, then let's say the सिर्फ पुरुषार्थ से नहीं होता, दो चीज से होता है. एक होता है पुरुषार्थ और एक होता है कर्म। पुरुषार्थ इंसान अपने शरीर से करता है, कर्म उसकी आत्मा के साथ चलता है। और जीवन में ना ही अकेला पुरुषार्थ काम आता है, ना ही अकेला कर्म, दे बोथ गो इन टैंडम। सेकेंडली, या सो देयर इज दिस कंसेप्ट नोन एज स्वामी वात्सल्य। होता क्या उसमें कि एक बंदा पैसा देता है और सबको खिलाता है। वो क्या है? वो आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट इट्स अ काइंड ऑफ डोनेशन, आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट इट डज, बट उसमें सबको, उसमें कोई डिस्क्रिमिनेशन नहीं होता। एंड स्पीकिंग ऑन द रीच, so when the money is given to social or some kind of that, वहाँ पे मॉनिटर नहीं होता। वहाँ पे the like you have all the examples कि हॉस्पिटल्स या जो भी है उसमें सब खुद ही खा जाते हैं, मतलब गवर्नमेंट देता है तो भी खुद खा जाते हैं। So what I'm saying is that in the social background, the monitor, or let's say the someone that monitors is a person who is same as us, but यहाँ पे सब साधु भगवान के निश्रा में होता है। And if you are saying that
we'll have to be quick. That's the reason I didn't give you a chance. Okay. Anyways,
Aman bhai,
let's take something from
Aman bhai, just one request from I think the teams, but sorry to audience that they are saying that our participation has become so less and audience are participating so high, so they should have come here and there is no role from our side. So maybe I'm just saying that they are not being able to speak, so we might need to give more time to
the participants.
Sure, we will. So we have one another participant from the online space who wants to give us comment. So let's hear out from them and then we'll go back to the participants here. All right, Rohan bhai.
So we are getting really interesting perspectives from online, and few of them are going in a direction which says that temples as well as hospitals and other social donations should be should be together. So Kejal Shah is specifying human beings are social, so they need people and company which is easily available at temples. It really reduces health problems, physical as well as mental. She has a perspective from a health side. And Maulik Shah is has views that Jain community should stay with funds of Jain community should stay with Jains. Let's pay for school fees, hospital bills only to Jain institutions, that we could gather funds and make our minority community financially strong. So that's a perspective again. So yeah, that's about it.
All right, let's move back to the participants. Divyansh wants to say something. Abhi hum log we've already reached the reach part. So yeah, we have pretty much covered. So यहाँ पर जिसको reach के बारे में कुछ point बोलना है वो बोल सकता है, but you're also open to discuss points on impact. It's the kind of quality that this kind of funding actually helps in. कि अगर वो पैसा एक individually तक पहुंच रहा है, is it worth it or not worth it? What is the quality of life they are going to be changing? So यहाँ पर you can start with the point.
Okay, so this is related to the point sir made about Jainism being open for all and welcoming to all, and it's not just restricted to the people for us or about us. Let's accept it, and all of us are in the same thought and the same page that yes, it's a religion for all and not restricted to one. But let's also accept the practicality. How many of us here regularly go to a mosque or a church? Similarly, how many non-Jains come to a Jain temple on a regular basis or even once a year, definitely for the coming few years? Now, I'll tell you, it's not because we are not welcoming or it's not that we don't want to go elsewhere. It is just that we are more comfortable with our practices of praying, and so are others. And that's the only reason we do not interact that ways in terms of religious places. Now to the second point. For example, on my way to my temple, if I'm injured, what am I going to do? I will still need a place to go and heal.
So you already
healing,
covered that point,
yes.
right? Yeah. I think let's move on to the 4 team. Okay, do you have some points? Please present it.
A point on reach where we say a hospital or education institution like a school, it will serve the people who are ill, it will serve the students, and then it moves on to the society. But whereas in a temple, okay, first of all, I just want to ask all of you guys a simple question. Do we believe that MS Dhoni played a crucial part in India winning the 2011 World Cup? Was a leader important? Yes or no? Yes or no? All right. But the leader was a bigger impactful player than any other player is what all right. So the leader is as good as his team. So what I am saying is that in a temple, when you have more peace of mind, you learn the philosophies of that religion, you learn the culture of that religion. So naturally you grow up to be a leader, And when you have overcome all your demons, you've overcome all your fears, you are more capable to run a society, and that society will eventually help so many people. So you're exponentially growing in a temple, but whereas in a hospital or a educational institution, you are growing very like very basic level, but here you can go exponentially. You can square root, you're helping here, but there you can just one simple multiplication.
तो इनका कहना है कि जो हमारा जो सोशल फंडिंग है दैट इज वेरी शैलो इज व्हाट ही वांट्स टू से कि इस फंडिंग से ज्यादा भी बहुत कुछ है जो हम जिस तरीके फंडिंग हम लोग देख सकते हैं. सो ही इज सेइंग इट्स वेरी शैलो. आई थिंक हम लोग को वी शुड लुक फॉर अ हायर पर्पस और we should probably try and look at religious funding. So from the against team we have someone who wants to say something.
Firstly, MS Dhoni was one of the players, and it was the contribution of the team and not just one player. And even yeah. So I'll come to my point. जैसे कि हमें पता है इंडिया में population बहुत ज़्यादा high है, and because of so much of high population, there's so much of traffic, and we know that hospitals are not everywhere. And in case of emergency, and if it is an emergency, people cannot reach out to the far hospitals, and even the ambulance gets stuck. So we should make sure that the ambulance, we should make sure that we can build a hospital in every area, so that if it is an emergency, people can reach out sooner, and that is actually a necessity. And हमारा culture और हमारा religion हमें वही सिखाता है कि हमें मदद करना चाहिए. We should be helpful.
इनका कहना है कि हर एक लोकेलिटी, हर एक एरिया में एक हॉस्पिटल होनी चाहिए, so that anybody who falls sick, anybody needs an emergency can quickly be rushed और हम लोगों को ज़्यादा time waste ना करना पड़े. We have someone here who wants to say something.
I just want to make a point here that if you go to a hospital and doctors so if you're suffering from a cancer and doctor says it's a stage 4 cancer and the person can't survive, so it's only the what do you say, the eternal thing that works, where God can only save him. So हाँ, जब डॉक्टर काम नहीं करती तो दुआ काम कर जाता है. So I want to make a point here.
Can I counter this, please? Yeah. So you mean that for a stage 4 cancer patient to get eternal hope, you take away hope from people who are not getting hospital beds, who have the chance to be treated? Because here we are discussing that donations should be made for social causes, which makes people who have chance to be cured to actually be cured. So, for example, in India, there are 50 crore people who don't receive complete medical facilities yet. There are one hospital bed to 3,000 patients. So one doctor to 10,800 patients. So you don't have a reach.
Nishkit wants to say something quickly.
Yeah, there's also 27% of death due to lack of medical.
I like to add on. When we talk about social effect or donating money in a social cause, I say we extend social causes. Why just hospital? Why just education? Why just schools? We can do more in social outreach for the society, right? That every religion follows that in their working. When you get a funding, they do divide a part and put it in hospitals, in education institutions. So here, the money you spend in a temple does more than a hospital or a school can probably do. Here, the money goes on well-being of the society and healing of the society, educating of the society. But here, there's only healing and well-being of the society. So here, we are just adding on more values to that money. So simply, when you buy a stock which gives you the most return. This stock gives you the most return. That's why people want to invest here.
All right, so he's trying to sell stocks and he says you should buy this stock because that will give you the best ROI. But actually, let's understand whether this is the best stock to buy or not. We have an counter argument who gentleman wants to make.
So you're saying that donation in a temple or donation at religious places is better than other places, like the point that you said. Do you have any statistics to prove that? No, take my phone.
All right, guys. Anybody from the audience who wants to counter
There's
something
no
here?
statistics
All
to
right?
prove that.
Okay.
One thing.
Come here, quickly come here.
Listen. Aman.
Please let us complete. Please. He also interrupted him. Please let us complete.
Sure.
Okay?
Guys, so sorry, but I think we invited everybody to be participated to participate in the session in the morning itself. We said that please, this is a hot topic. So the guys who have voluntarily come on the stage should definitely get a more chance to speak, and at least we should be having the capacity to listen and then add the point. So I would urge every audience to be patient. Yeah, we'll come to Aman Bhai, will come to you, and he has been coming to you. Okay, but be patient and hear out. Tomorrow is another hot topic where you guys will be there and these guys will be sitting down.
All right. Also, just make note. अगर आपने एक बार प्रश्न पूछ लिया है, आपका दलील आपने रख दी है, keep quiet.
Aman bhai.
एक बार, let's just give a chance to everybody here. I'm going to tell the same thing to everybody here as well. एक बंदा एक ही बार बोले. I don't want the same person talking the entire show.
Yeah,
so I want different people getting involved in this program.
All
So
those
that
who
is the
have
reason
come
I'm
on
trying to move it
stage,
around.
yeah. So please don't. We should not have like repeated faces from the same team. Please give chance to other team members also, because I see like two of them, three of them are speaking, and two of them like you are speaking. So like, please let's make it more inclusive from both the teams.
You can start off with your part.
So now, if we see that how many temples are there in the country versus how many educational institutions are there versus how many hospitals are there in the country, अगर हम लोग रोड पे जाएंगे, हर नाके या हर नुक्कड़ पे हमें एक मंदिर दिखेगा, ठीक है? हम स्कूल में जाएंगे, स्कूल में भी एक प्रेयर रूम होता है, हॉस्पिटल में भी एक प्रेयर रूम होता है. तो do we really need to spend that much amount of money in building such huge and magnificent temples where you are just going to get some inner peace? You can get the inner peace just sitting over there in the room itself, where there is no sound. You can just have some calm of your inner peace.
Wow, that was rock solid. He said,
I would like to add
सब
on.
जगह जहाँ पर भी जाते हो वहाँ पर आपको prayer
I
room
want to
मिलता है,
counter-attack.
school में, college में, hospital में. So I think one
Aman.
team here wants to counter that. I think let's give them a chance.
Yeah. Talking about religious donation, like that guy said, talking about Mani Lakshmi said, there were 1400 guys employed over there, just keeping it aside. Religious donation, where we built derasars, which are passed on from generation to maintain our Jain Dharma. Talking about your social welfare, well, I don't think that while donating on hospital or education today, where they have a basic motive, that's profit motive. Yes, keeping it... while thinking about it with cold mind, like a guy has invested 1 crore rupees. So first his basic motive would be to recover his 1 crore rupees and to gain more and more profits from that hospitals and education facilities.
Wow. You have something to say?
I just want to tell कि जरूरी नहीं है कि हम इंस्टीट्यूशनल जो एजुकेशनल फैसिलिटीज है, तुम ये भी देखो कि नंबर ऑफ टेम्पल्स कितने हैं एक लोकेलिटी में और नंबर ऑफ इंस्टीट्यूशनल एजुकेशनल और सोशल बिल्डिंग्स कितने हैं. अगर मैं जैसे लोनावला में रहती हूँ, आई जस्ट वांट टू से कि ये वेसिनिटी में अगर आप देखो तो जैन टेम्पल्स ही 12 to 15 है, बट यू टॉक अबाउट अ गुड हॉस्पिटल, देयर इज नन. Most of the people die यहाँ से पुणे एम्बुलेंस में जाना है. And this is not the case of लोनावला. ये बहुत सिटीज में है इंडिया में. Your thing can be applicable to the good cities जो अच्छे डेवलप सिटीज है वहाँ पे. But if you talk about the rural part of the country, वहाँ पे नहीं है इतने फैसिलिटीज. एंड आपका पॉइंट जो आपने शत्रुंजय का भी बोला था, एम्प्लॉयमेंट इज फाइन, बट व्हाट अबाउट द एजुकेशनल फैसिलिटीज ऑफ देयर चिल्ड्रन, या फिर उनके जो मेडिकल फैसिलिटीज है उनका क्या? इज देयर एनी अच्छी मेडिकल फैसिलिटीज और एजुकेशनल फैसिलिटीज वहाँ के पीपल के लिए?
Wow, that's a very valid point कि कितने सारे लोग एम्बुलेंस में जाते जाते मरते हैं. एक लोकेलिटी में 12 मंदिर है, but not a single good hospital that you can actually rely on. So that's a
So
big
to
question mark.
summarize her point, she means that there are no good hospitals in tier 2 and tier 3 cities, whereas there are good hospitals in tier 1 cities. So
Absolutely.
do you have a counter
Yeah, you can counter that.
Yeah.
I would like to counter my friend what he said that we have prayer rooms in schools as well, but then why do we have temple? We have it basically because there are positive vibes. The aura that we get is basically in temples. We do not get that in schools. Yeah, we do not get in schools. So we say Shikharji or we say Palitana. There are too much of positive vibes that we do not get in schools or somewhere.
All right. So she says कि positive vibes की बात हो रही है यहाँ पर.
Hello. To their point, they said about ki proper hospitals.
One
nahi
second,
hote.
I've given a chance to counter. Finish in that. So what happens is you get good coordination between the two. She's giving a point. You're again giving in a point. So might as well complete in that particular point because it's not fair to pass on the mic to two different people. That was one particular topic. Similar with this particular team, you're passing on the mic. You want to add on? No, finish it at once.
My dear friends, we are not in oppose of the running temples. We just want कि now there is an employment. We agree. We are not telling them to shut their employments. We just want कि now the donation part comes. We have to donate for other social being also and social causes also. So that way, there are mandir, there are temples. They will also run their religious things, and we can also provide their extra social causes.
So okay, this point has been discussed. Now we are having a discussion more on impact part. So the reach point have been covered. Yeah. So
All right, we have Rohan Bhai who wants to add on to the point.
Okay. So it's a very interesting topic and so much of intensity and such amazing points from both sides. I am definitely religion following, believe in God, but then just want to put one question. In one temple, in a day, 1,000 or maybe 5,000 or even 10,000 people can worship, but can the same happen in one hospital? That means the number of hospitals definitely need to be increased. We can worship even here. God is everywhere. I personally believe in it. God is in me. If I am actually building a hospital, whenever possible, I would definitely want to do that. I am actually still going to be worshipping God, is what I personally feel. And I still would say that temples should be there. But if we look at the proportion, it is disproportionate. Good hospital, and there was a point for the temple's side, and I am also for both sides, just to say. They said that hospitals are making money. That's where we are saying we should have hospitals which are giving subsidy or which are giving treatment at absolute bare minimum actual cost. Think about it. Okay, thank you.
So to add to Rohan Bhai's point, we have some statistics he wants to present. Can you quickly present some statistics?
First is that, as he rightly said, there are too many temples and there's less social institutions to help people. In a Times of India report, it was said that in India especially, we're talking about religion all over the world, okay? Not just Jainism, Christianity, Islam, everything. But to speak even specifically about India, total temples and religious places receive more than 25 to 30 billion dollars annually as donations. Now, can we ask ourselves, where is that money going to? Yeah, so part of it is going for employment and employment of the people and their salaries and stuff. But imagine if every year we can invest all that money instead of in religious institutions, but a major chunk of them to social reforms where people actually need it.
Okay, so इनके statistics के हिसाब से वो बोल रहे हैं कि there's a big mismatch between the kind of amount they park in the religious organizations. This is what she wants to say. यहाँ पर audience में है जो कोई कहना चाहता है कि नहीं, temples should be built, more and more temples should be built. I'll give it to him.
I think more and more temples should be built. First reason, if we invest in temples, there is a proper team which first researches where money is needed and where it is should be invested. They invest only in particular places where they are decided. But we first research where the money is properly needed. Another point, this guy told in reach, I think so. You told that temples build employment. मतलब मंदिर बनाने के लिए जो मजदूर लगते हैं वो बाद में अनएम्प्लॉयड हो जाते हैं, राइट? तो बाद में हॉस्पिटल्स बनाने के भी जो मजदूर लगते हैं वो भी बाद में अनएम्प्लॉयड हो जाते हैं.
कंस्ट्रक्शन में नहीं, वर्किंग में.
तो वर्किंग में जो
सिर्फ पुजारी रहेगा, वर्कर नहीं रहेंगे.
तो डोली वाले रहते, सुन डोली वाले रहते हैं तो वो भी लाइफ टाइम के लिए रहते हैं. खाने पीने वाले रहते हैं वो भी लाइफ टाइम के लिए रहते हैं. लारी वाले रहते हैं वो भी लाइफ टाइम के लिए रहते हैं. So you can't say that they are unemployed at the time, and that proper area gets an area. And first, that girl showed that Navneet is a hospital in India, but you cannot specify a single hospital. You have to specify 100 of them. There are only five hospitals, so you can't say this is.
I think he's going to be knocking off one by one. This guy. He finished 5 guys in one shot. Okay, so I will give it to them.
One. Just one suggestion. So, given that we are discussing impact on a wide variety of things, including the ones that are listed on the screen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So is it possible would it be possible to go in order one by one on each of these things so that we sort of cover each of them?
So I think we finished medical, educational, and hospital. I think we have to go to off.
No, but yeah, we need to finish it fully, and like once participants don't have anything more to say for each of them, we can move to the next one.
All right. So we will start with medical research right now. जो medical research में हमारा पैसा जा रहा है, उसमें कितना impact हो रहा है, दोनों को एक-एक option दिया जाएगा, फिर audience में एक question को roll किया जाएगा. All right. You guys want to say something? You guys want to say something for medical researches? What kind of impact they do?
I think we've already said about the cast.
Yeah, 1 point. So each of this is with respect to with respect to religious contribution. So so when we say donation to the number 1 item versus donation to religious, second donation to the number 2 item versus religious, and so on. So each of this is obviously the contrast is the religious donation, but for the social we have divided into these denominations.
So हमारा क्वेश्चन है कि डोनेशन मेडिकल रिसर्च की तरफ देना चाहिए या डोनेशन रिलीजियस एक्टिविटी या मंदिर के लिए देना चाहिए?
Yeah. So points have been mentioned for this. That's why I was insisting to stick to reach and not to this. But now that you have this opportunity, please stick only to that one and finish it as quickly and crisply as possible. Medical research. So medical research. 1 point here, 1 point here, 1 point in audience. At most, if you feel it's really necessary, another round, and then we can move on to the next one. So let's be prepared, crisp, short, and quick.
So I'll give this chance to the 4 team. You want to present something?
सबसे पहले तो मेडिकल रिसर्च के नाम पे कितने सारे जीवों के साथ हिंसा की जाती है. रैबिट्स हैं, बंदर हैं, चूहे हैं, उनको कितनी सारी हिंसा झेलनी पड़ती है. उसके बाद आपने बहुत सारी मेडिकल रिसर्च करके कोई दवाई बना भी ली तो वो हर एक आम आदमी तक नहीं पहुंचती क्योंकि आप उस पार्ट का एक सिस्टम नहीं हो. बड़ी बड़ी MNCs उसमें से करोड़ों रुपए कमाती है और वो आम आदमी तक पहुंच ही नहीं पाती और डॉक्टर सिर्फ एक शारीरिक स्वस्थता दे पाता है जबकि मंदिर से हमारा हृदय परिवर्तन होता है.
Alright, तो इनका कहना है कि जो रिसर्च होती है मेडिकल रिसर्चेस में दैट इज सो क्रूअल. मतलब रैबिट्स दे डोंट इवन सी लेफ्ट राइट सेंटर. रैबिट्स है, दूसरे काफी सारे रैट्स है जिनके ऊपर एक्सपेरिमेंट होते हैं, विच इज नॉट फेयर. मतलब सिर्फ हमारे बेटरमेंट के लिए और किसी की हिंसा करना इज डेफिनेटली नॉट अ फेयर आइडिया. तो इनका ये कहना है. ऑन द काउंटर वी हैव अ जेंटलमैन हु हैज सम रियली स्ट्रांग पॉइंट्स.
Yeah. So on the counter, I want to say one. The first thing he pointed out that we should not use animals for testing. But my dear friend, I think there's no other pedagogy involved wherein we can test the successfulness of a drug without testing it on animals. If it is tested good, then only we are helping it to serve millions of human beings. You know, so that the impact ratio which is involved is much greater impacting human beings than harming animals. And the second point, the peace which you said that you go to temple, you get peace. My dear friend, you can go, instead of building a 1 crore temple, you can go to a Vipassana Shivar, 0 rupees fee, and I'm assuring you, you'll get 100% more peace than this.
Yeah, don't you guys think it makes sense? Vipassana जाइए, meditate कीजिए, get a lot of sense, be more calm. I think आपके लाइफ में काफी सारा चेंजेस आता है. Once you go to Vipassana, stay there for 20 days, meditate, सात्विक खाना खाओ, time पे उठो, time पे सो, no phones, no headache at all. So I think he says कि Vipassana is actually a good thing instead of actually investing more on temples. So we have a counter here who wants to say something.
कोई ने विपासना शिविर में डोनेट किया तो ही तो आप जा पा रहे हैं. यदि कोई ने डोनेट ही नहीं किया होता तो आप जा कैसे पाते वहां पे. और if you are talking about social cause, we are talking about सभी जीव करू शासन रसी. तो आप किसी भी जीव के ऊपर हिंसा कैसे कर सकते हैं?
Right. I think very important. He said कि it is worth killing a rabbit. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's worth killing an animal just for our betterment. Is it really worth? Is a big question mark because the statement has to be validated. Yes.
Aman, I have my point here.
Who's it?
I have my point.
Oh, please.
Okay. So let's again come back to a few fundamentals. Here we are talking about if we have a certain amount of money and if we have to just make one choice, what do we choose? We choose, in this case, medical research or a temple. Now talking of the example my friend said कि हम सब जीवों को एक समान मानते हैं और we shouldn't harm. Exactly what we should not do. We do not want to test on rabbits and rats and monkeys, and we don't want to do that anymore. How can we solve that problem? The only way we can solve that problem is by medical research. We need more institutions, we need more research on this topic to ensure not just the lives of animals are safeguarded from such harsh experiments, but also the same research which can yield in more fruitful medicines can be implemented on lakhs and lakhs of people and can change life.
Okay, we'll take
So
a
he still
question from
thinks-
audience.
Right. One last question from the audience. जो जिसने अभी तक किसी को chance नहीं मिला है, I would like them to raise a hand. Can you quickly come forward? Come forward. You raise the hand. I think you will have to come forward. Come fast. No. अच्छा आप बताइए. You have something. After this, we are going to have a closing call, and then we can close.
So I have just a small example. So if we have 1 crore, let's take an example of 1 crore rupees. So we invested, not invested, we built one small temple. We could provide a little bit of employment to pujaris or to someone else. But just imagine if we invested in medical research, and if there is a good outcome coming from it, it could get multiplied to thousands and lakhs of times. It could be helped to cure so many people, and also to the point that it won't lead to the harm that is caused to the animals, but it would help us not to cause harm to the animals and get a good way to cure that disease, in short.
Okay, good point. One last closing by both the teams. You can take your turn first. उसके बाद आपको last closing मिलेगा. No passing the buck.
माय डियर फ्रेंड, आपने बोला कि डे बाय डे रिसर्च हो रहे हैं और रिसर्च में डोनेशन दो, सोशल में आप डोनेशन दो. एवरी डे न्यू फार्मास्यूटिकल्स कंपनी न्यू टैबलेट्स बनाती है, न्यू इन्वेंशंस करती है, लेकिन वो आपने देखा कभी डिजीज कम हुई? डे बाय डे डिजीज इंक्रीज ही हो रही है. एंड वन मोर थिंग, मेडिकल रिसर्च में रिलीजियस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू फ्रॉम जैनिज्म, अपने शास्त्र में सब कुछ पहले से दिया हुआ है और साइंस जो डे बाय डे चेंज होता है. आयुर्वेदा, नेचुरोपैथी, एंड वन मोर थिंग, लाइक इन जैनिज्म वी से दैट हमको चौवियार करना है. सबसे पहले चौवियार करना क्यों है? तुम रात्रि भोजन छोड़ो तो आधी बीमारी ऐसी दूर हो जाएगी और गर्म पानी पीना चालू करो. 95% गारंटी के साथ मैं बोलता हूँ, 95% एज आई एम अ डॉक्टर, नेचुरोपैथी डॉक्टर, 95% बीमारी ऐसे ही खत्म हो जाएगी.
So that's straight from the horse's mouth, and from a naturopathy doctor directly. So we have a very good point that our naturopathy doctor had actually put across कि गर्म पानी पीना शुरू करो and start doing रात्रि भोजन त्याग. It's not very funny. I think इस चीज के बारे में हम लोग को बहुत seriously सोचना चाहिए कि what we're doing on a daily basis in terms of रात्रि भोजन as well. Because if you hear a lot of celebrities across Bollywood as well and Hollywood, they say that मैं रात को नहीं खाता हूँ 6 बजे के बाद. So I'm sure you guys would have heard an interview by Akshay Kumar who says कि रात को खाने, he's not used it from a Jain per se, but he used it from a very from a medical kind of an experience. He said कि नहीं, रात्रि भोजन हमें नहीं खाना चाहिए. So I think we as individuals should start doing that, क्योंकि बहुत बार हमारा बाहर खाना हो जाता है, तो एटलीस्ट कोशिश करके हम लोग ये तो कर ही सकते हैं कि कम से कम अपनी रात्रि भोजन पर तो हम लोग कंट्रोल रखें. One last closing point from your side. You want to finish it fast?
तुम लोग का बोलने का मतलब है टेक्नोलॉजी आगे बढ़ना ही नहीं मांगता है कि नहीं? बढ़ना मांगता है, टेक्नोलॉजी आगे बढ़ना मांगता है कि नहीं बढ़ना मांगता है? तुम लोग को टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं बढ़ेगा, फिर तुम लोग बोलोगे अब्रॉड जाना है अभी हमको. तुम लोग बोलोगे कि नहीं? टेक्नोलॉजी तुम बोलोगे अभी टेक्नोलॉजी इधर है नहीं, मुझे तो अब्रॉड जाना है भाई. हाँ,
one second.
मुझे अटैक आया या तुम्हें अटैक आया, किसको भी अटैक आया, किधर भागोगे? पहले वो बोलो. मंदिर भागोगे कि हॉस्पिटल में भागोगे? बोलो पहले वो बोलो, फटाफट बोलो. तुमको 190 रहेगा तो तुम क्या करोगे इधर? गर्म पानी से तो नहीं उतारोगे.
Can I speak?
हमेशा नेचुरोपैथी होती है, मैं ये नहीं बोलता हूँ.
ऑर्डर
सबसे पहले तो
एक सेकंड डॉक्टर साहब एक सेकंड you can quickly finish your point in a very good way. Just put across your point, don't ask questions. आप अपना point put forward कीजिए, but उसको सवाल मत पूछिए. Put forward your point.
सवाल भी है ना साथ में.
Put it forward and sit down.
नहीं साथ में सवाल भी है.
I have an answer.
Wait.
सबसे पहले
Wait, everyone, wait. Order. Yes. Yeah. So, please let's be very courteous. Let's keep it very courteous. जो भी बात कहनी है वो सौजन्यपूर्ण तरीके से भी कही जा सकती है. प्लीज इसका ध्यान रखें. मतलब I understand that dramatization and all has impact value, but this is a civil debate. Let's not make what can be seen as personal attacks. आप कहिए अपनी बात, उसमें कोई बात नहीं है, लेकिन कृपया उसको don't make it person versus person, strong arguments against. See, argue. See, the crux of the debate. Silence, please. Silence. Audience, please be silent. Please be silent. Yeah. So the crux of the debate. Participants also please be silent. Do I have everybody's attention? Yeah. See, there's no point having multiple conversations. If one person is speaking, let's listen to him. And really, debate should be any point that you should be grounded on either logic or facts. या उसमें कुछ तथ्य होना चाहिए या उसमें कुछ तर्क होना चाहिए. ठीक है? So let's leave out rhetoric to some extent, if we can. Let's not try to make personal attacks. Please make sensible arguments in a courteous manner. Thanks.
All right. Against
we can start.
Against team को last closing statement मिल रहा है. Please make the best use of it.
Hello.
Silence, please. Silence. Yeah.
मतलब तुमको अटैक आएगा अभी तो तुम किधर जाओगे? तुमको अटैक आएगा तो तुम कहाँ जाओगे पहले?
सबसे पहले तो अटैक आने जैसा काम ही मत करो.
अटैक आने का नहीं. जो व्यसन नहीं करता है उसको भी हार्ट डिजीज आती है. जरूरी नहीं है. आज पोल्यूशन है. हमारा फैलाया हुआ ही पोल्यूशन है. यहाँ पे कचरा हमारा फैलाया हुआ ही है. तुम ये मत बोलो कि जैन लोग कचरा नहीं करते. तुम ये मत बोलो. वहाँ पे मुंबई में
This is exactly what I told not to do. This is exactly what I told not to do.
Guys,
this is exactly what I told not to do.
Sure, I think this is very important. I'm sorry, I didn't get your name, gentlemen. Sorry. So we have a lot
of. If you want to speak, speak.
Can we have someone?
If you want to speak,
speak.
Don't invite answers from the opposition team because then they will speak. Yeah.
Yeah, can I close? Aman, can I close?
Please.
Okay. So coming to the basic point that we are rich in heritage in terms of knowledge, in terms of everything that my friend said is absolutely true. We have to understand everything that's told is preventive measure, not a cure measure, and to an extent a curable measure. But the way we lead our lives and the kind of technological development we have made, we need more places to make an impact of those developments. In case where a disease or a injury is beyond the measure of if it's no more preventable, then we have to cure it. And to cure it, we need medical research centers, we need hospitals, we need more of that so that the impact of these diseases can be put down. And after which, a healthy body can definitely go to a temple and worship and gain all the enlightenment.
Thank you so much. So both the teams have put up some really, really beautiful and strong points. But I don't think it is fair to come to a conclusion right now because दोनों के जो आप बोलो पलड़ा किसका भारी, I would say right now both are pretty much on the same page. So I think इस particular topic पे we will hear from Sahib ji tomorrow. Meanwhile, let's move on to educational institutes जहाँ पर Ron bhai, just give me 5 minutes. Ron bhai, please sit. Educational institutes की जब बात आती है वहाँ पर, is it worth funding education? जैसे schools है, colleges है, क्या हमें उसको fund करना चाहिए or still stick to religious donations? One each opening statements.
So when it comes to educational institutions, there are villages, there are places where where there is not proper education given. So we can build schools and colleges, and वहाँ पे भी we can make a part where they teach religion, where they teach cultures, so that will give a knowledge to the people about everything.
Thank you very much. You want to add something from your team? No? Well, you guys want to say something?
Yeah. So to add to the point of education, firstly, like initially we started that we're not against the schools or colleges that are being built, but we are more on the temple side. If you see from earlier times, you have an example of an Aryabhatta, a Patanjali, a Panini Sanskrit, or a Ramanujam, or a Hemachandracharya who was a Jain. All these come from religious institutions. So even in religious institutions, of course, education is imparted, but it's a more holistic education. So if you want a larger impact, it's better that you go from the religious perspective and not only a school which will give you only materialistic benefits.
So she has a very valid point. She says holistic education is more important than a materialistic education, which would probably give you a 360 view of how living life and what education is. We have a gentleman who wants to add on to a point right now.
हम लोग ने अभी तक बहुत कुछ मतलब डिस्कशन किया कि हमको किधर डोनेशन करना चाहिए, पर ऑलरेडी जिधर हम लोग ने बहुत सारा पैसा ऑलरेडी जो डोनेटेड है उसका क्या, जैसे अभी थोड़े दिन पहले ही एक न्यूज आर्टिकल था एजुकेशन और सोशल व्हाटएवर इट इज दैट ऑलरेडी a few days back there was a news where Sai Baba Trust has given 500 crore of their donated money to the government of Maharashtra for some social causes. So where do we need the money? In social causes, because the trust is giving money on no interest basis to the government of Maharashtra to do social work.
Valid point. We have one lady who wants to again add on to a point.
I think we are missing out on several other points. We're just focusing on temples and hospitals or educations. So religion is more than just building temples. The scope says religious activities. So right now what we've gathered here, what we're doing, this is because somebody donated in a religious this thing. So please keep in mind that a lot of people will be impacted because somebody else made a religious donation. Even otherwise, our religious institutes, they just don't make temples. They there are like big names in Jain. This thing I would particularly talk about Jainism, KP Sanghvi group, and many other like rich Jains. They in the name of religious institutions, there are many education, medical facilities, and everything provided by religious trusts. So we're missing out on that. So yeah, religion is not just building temple. I would request the religion team to explore other things and talk about other things except for building temples.
Okay.
I think she has a very, very valid point. She's trying to say is we are still sticking to just मंदिर बनाना है, मंदिर बनाना है, मंदिर बनाना है, but religious donation also include a lot of things, जैसे कि उपध्यान करवाना है, जैसे कि for example चेरीपाली संघ लेके जाना है या संघ लेकर जाना है, और probably organizing these kinds of shivers. So religious donation का मतलब that is what, correct me if I'm wrong, so that is where she's coming from. She's telling कि let us look at a religious donation from a very broader perspective rather than just sticking to temples. So do you guys want to actually say something about that?
Yeah, ma'am, we said that in a point that there are such kshetras which one of you mentioned, and there is not just temples, there is also Maharaj Sahib ka Vaiya, which also Upashray, the like the pathshalas also. Then you do so basically what Mara Sahib के लिए जो विहार ग्रुप भी जाता है वो भी एक काइंड ऑफ सपोर्ट ही हो गया, और वो किसके लिए रहता है? वो महाराज सबके सिक्योरिटी के लिए रहता है। दूसरा ये सब चीज हमने बता चुके हैं और स्वामी वात्सल्य भी उसमें इंक्लूड कर देते हैं, बिकॉज इवन दैट इज काइंड ऑफ अ डोनेशन वेयर खाने तो आते हैं सब लोग, बट देयर आर पुअर पीपल हु कम एंड हु टेस्ट good kind of food.
I don't think there's anything new there, but the point is valid that I think it might be worth focusing on things other than temple as well.
Yeah, I want to make. I want to counter. No, I want to counter her point. Okay.
See, it's your side. It's your side. It's your side. Where are we? It's a debate.
No, you are passing the mic 2-3 times.
No.
Guys, calm down. That's the reason I said one person at a time. That's the reason. You can take this point. You can take this point quickly.
Avoided because this was just a repetition of what you guys have already spoken. So you could have added a point therein and utilized that time. Now it is missed the chance.
So I want to say thank you. Like you gave the live example, but the thing is, educational institutes, we have हमको basic education सबको मिला है, right? ये हम higher education लेने के लिए आए हैं, right? Debate and all, right? So there are so many people in India who don't even get, जिनको basic education भी नहीं मिलता, schooling भी नहीं मिलता. There are lots of cities and गाँव जहाँ पे बेसिक एजुकेशन के लिए स्कूल नहीं है, बच्चों को बहुत दूर तक जाना पड़ता है. तो हमको सब ये जो मिल रहा है ये हायर पार्ट है. द बेसिक नीड नाउ इन अन्न वस्त्र निवारा, उसमें एजुकेशन भी आता है, राइट? एंड वी आर टॉकिंग एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट. सो आई थिंक मोर प्राइमरी एजुकेशन इज ऑल्सो नीडेड. So this is what is higher secondary and higher education debate and all, but primary is also needed and we should do for that something.
So you mean that education is available in the city area, but in the tier 3 and tier 4 cities, access to education is not easily available. Okay, you have counter to that?
Okay, I have a counter. For the other points also made. Okay, so one point what was made, that in educational institutes people can learn the religion. So that is a complete wrong statement. If you open the Constitution of India, the Constitution of India does not permit an educational institute to teach or preach any religion. Okay, it is not allowed. Ma'am, you open the preamble of Constitution of India. You cannot teach religion in educational institutes. To teach religion, you need to learn something in religion. You need to go to the temple, and it is a fact. Tomorrow you get your mobiles. Please check that. Please check that.
So he has to say that you have to. It is actually stated on the preamble that you cannot actually preach any religion unless and until you go to a
factual
a specific
correction is
temple.
not.
So I have.
Please make factually correct statements. Please.
So can you please enlighten us, the jury members, what is the factual statement over here in this case?
So I think what he said is right in terms of larger group, but for minority groups, okay, in the Constitution there is a section 51 which says that minority religions can be given an education. In an education, and I will give an example also. Madrasas are given the education. Wait. In section 51 only, the madrasas or minorities are given that particular right, okay, within the Constitution framework to teach their students the necessary religious education. Okay, so there is no debarring on education upfront in any law. Only thing is that majority, that is the Hindus, okay, may not be in the position to do that. But whereas if you talk about the minority, other than that, so to that extent your facts were not correct, so which we wanted to correct.
Okay.
All right. Do you want to add something to that? Okay. Before that, let's give her a chance. Otherwise, it's going to be real difficult for me. You can take a chance.
So he said that it is not allowed to, like Constitution of India. I am from Jain school, okay, Guru Ganesh Vidyalaya. So in that school, each and every caste and each of every religion के बच्चों को allowed था आना, and वहाँ पे minimum सबको नवकार मंत्र सिखाया गया था. And my friend is from convent school. उनको भी
we were supposed to do what we were not supposed to do. Actually, सब कराया जाता था because of their norms or something.
So my friend, it is they are teaching a little bit of religion thing there also.
So to count.
इसके लिए मेहता जी के पास कुछ काउंटर है, प्लीज बताइए.
To counter that, when you're saying that professional educational institutions actually give you little bit of religion, there are religious institutions which give you all of professional education also. You have gurukuls, you have tapavans and madrasas, which are religious institutions, also teach you professional education. So then isn't it beneficial to have a religious institution which gives you a balance of both, rather than having a professional academic institution which gives you only one and little of the other?
That's a very, 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 very valid point. You have something you would like to add to.
Yeah. But one question to that is, how successful are those madrasas, are those gurukuls in this current era of globalization, in this current era, in the pace of technology? How successful are those institutions in imparting quality education?
So it's a pretty big question. How important or how impactful are these in
Add
terms
on?
of giving the quality of education? You guys want to add, Rishabh? You want to add something to this, or should we keep it open to the people here who want to say something?
Yeah, just one second. Again on the fact. So he had asked a question on fact, right? Okay, how good those institutions with religious. Yeah. So then, so I have studied myself not in school but in Tapovan. Okay, where I think till 12th standard English medium education was given till 12th standard. I'm not talking about higher. We are talking about primary. So I'm only on the facts. Till 12th standard it was given. And there are so many, I think there are 600 Vidyalayas, Arya Vidyalayas in Madhya Pradesh, which are recognized by government, which are run by Digambar Jain community. I'm just again going on to the facts, and which provide very high quality, very 100% pass out ratio is there. I'm not talking about the higher ones.
Vikesh Bhai is a product of Tapovan, and he is a lawyer, he's a chartered accountant, and he knows Prakrit, Sanskrit, and yeah.
All right, we have one audience who wants to say something. We have Siddharth Bhai who wants to say something, say a point.
So, when you are quoting stats, please go beyond numbers. So someone said, there's one hospital for 1800, one bed for 1800 people or something. Now look at the facts or the stats that you have quoted. One bed, 1800 people. It's a very gross ratio. It only says the material availability versus the number of population. Now all of those 1800 people will not need 1800 patients. Now the question is, will that 1800 patients need that one bed? No, not. Wait. Look into the stats that you are quoting, the source, the way it is gathered, and then go beyond when you are putting a point. Now come to medical research. You are saying that you need more money for medical research. Before making that statement, keep in mind the amount of money that is invested by governments world over, by private institutes world over, by individuals world over on something which you are considering medical research. I'll just give you one example. The number of deaths in India because of malaria is much higher than the number of deaths because of AIDS. But the maximum amount of money and other resources which are spent on research about AIDS is at least 15 to 25 times more than the amount spent on malaria. So what I'm trying to say is, when you do not have an actual effective say on the resource allocation, so rather than betting on a wrong horse, it's better to invest somewhere on an institutional setup which has stood the test of time for at least past 2,500 years. And the service that it has done to the society. आप बात कर रहे हो number of beds versus patients की. Give me the number of temples that are there versus just the temples, not other religious institutions, versus the other things.
See, the discussion is all philosophical. What the gentleman has said. Okay, I mean, even if it is 180, forget about 1800. Even if it is 180, it is criminal that there is 180 patients for one bed. And to your point about the Gurukuls and Vikesh Bhai, like he's an exception. Let's be very practical. I mean, it's not a norm. It's an exception and we don't have Gurukuls in all locations. How many Gurukuls are there in Mumbai? Or in Lonavala for that matter. So let's be very practical about that thing. And whatever you are saying is more theoretical and philosophical. That's my
So
point.
he says it's not very practical, it's very theoretical, theory based. He's saying that it doesn't really make sense in the modern age, right? So we have one gentleman here who has a very, very important and a very strong point he wants to put across, and I think that's going to be.
मैं एक अभी का बहुत प्रैक्टिकल बात करूंगा मैं. There is one philanthropist. अभी के मतलब he is very big industrialist, and he doesn't believe in any religious fundamental or any religious spending. So he has spent over 800 crores in educational sector. Okay. So recently, 15 days back, he donated 150 crores for education. But he said, so I am just speaking कि उसके शब्द क्या थे कि हम एजुकेशन को बहुत महत्व दे रहे हैं आज के एजुकेशन सिस्टम को. सही बात है, देनी चाहिए, बट इससे ज्यादा महत्व हमें मोरालिटी पे देनी चाहिए, क्योंकि ये जो बच्चे हैं सीखते हैं उनको सिर्फ एक ही चीज सिखाई जाती है कि बाय हुक और बाय क्रुक आप सिर्फ पैसे कमाएं. तो जो बंदा आज तक रिलीजन के ऊपर या वैल्यूज के ऊपर बात नहीं करता था आंखों बंद करके, जिसने अभी तक 800 करोड़ रुपए दे दिया है और वो एक एथिस्ट ही है, वो अब ऐसा बात कर रहा है कि नहीं, अभी हमें वैल्यूज के ऊपर, मोरालिटी कैसे बढ़े इसके ऊपर हमें ध्यान देना है, रादर एजुकेशन के ऊपर इतना ध्यान नहीं देना है. और मैं एक क्लोज करूंगा अभी कि एक गांव के अंदर एक जो यूथ है, पढ़ा लिखा यूथ जाता है गांव के अंदर, वहां पे मजदूर काम कर रहा होता है. वो मजदूर काम करके शाम के वक्त जो कॉन्ट्रैक्टर होता है उसके पास पैसे लेने आता है, मजदूरी लेने आता है. मजदूर जो कॉन्ट्रैक्टर है उसको 200 रुपए देता है. वो लड़का देखता है पढ़ा लिखा, वो मजदूर को बोलता है भाई 400 रुपए के ऊपर तूने अंगूठा लगाया और तुझे उससे 200 रुपया दिया. अगर तू पढ़ा लिखा होता तो ये चीटिंग तेरे साथ वो नहीं कर पाता. आर यू एग्रीइंग?
एग्री.
वो जो अनपढ़ गवार मजदूर कहता है कि मैं तो अनपढ़ हूं, गवार हूं, बट कॉन्ट्रैक्टर तो पढ़ा लिखा है. तो मैं एजुकेशन के अगेंस्ट नहीं हूं, बट आज की जो एजुकेशन है, हमारी जो एजुकेशन थी भारतीय संस्कृति की, इट हैज बीन डिस्ट्रॉयड. और आज की जो ये एजुकेशन सिस्टम है वो एजुकेशन नहीं है, इट इज अ बिजनेस. आई एम इनटू स्कूल बिजनेस. अगर मैं पोल खोलूं नहीं यहाँ पे, हाँ, मैक्सिमम स्कूल्स है ना, मैक्सिमम स्कूल्स जो प्रिंसिपल होते हैं वो पैसे लेते हैं ऑर्डर देने के लिए. और ये प्रिंसिपल्स, मैक्सिमम की बात कर रहा हूं, नॉट ऑल, ये जो प्रिंसिपल्स है, ये जो इंस्टीट्यूट्स है, हाँ, उनके प्रिंसिपल्स ऑर्डर्स देने के लिए पैसे लेते हैं. ये हमारे बच्चों को क्या वैल्यू सिखाएंगे?
Aman, can I speak?
So he had a very strong point. He said कि ये principals जो पैसे लेते हैं एडमिशन करवाने के लिए, orders pass करवाने के लिए, what kind of values or morals would they actually give away to our kids? So it's again food for thought. हम लोग को सोचना चाहिए कि is this kind of education system, is it worth investing your money? Is it worth donating your money into this kind of
Aman,
facility?
Aman, can I speak?
Sure, you can take a point.
Can I? So, yes, sir, you started and your points were excellent and very well noted. So now I would like, don't take this as a personal comment or an attack again. It is basically a conversation. Because it involves you, I have to go take it at that level. Were you thought in that the host is going to decide, not me? You didn't know I was going to speak until you spoke so much.
So let it be on a very...
Wait. He spoke in general about the education system in current India.
I will use his words and take his words as example.
But you can use... Have you seen a Rajya Sabha debate?
Okay, I'm
Okay,
not
so
going to be.
you don't point out to him, but in say a general a person of a caliber of us. Okay.
I'm going to talk to all and I'm going to question to all. So, how many of us from standard 1 to 10 were taught, let's make money in life? How many of our teachers bluntly entered class, okay, boys, open your books, okay, girls, open your books, I'm going to show you how to make money, and she started? It never happened with me. Maybe over time, I could end up being a greedy person and I can make money, and maybe I started learning that in real life. So schools are not taught how to make money, but ways you can make money, and it's up to you if you really want to make a lot of money or want to make a living for yourself. That's point A. Now point B. So this philanthropist who's donated so much money, वो क्या झाड़ से तोड़ के लेके आया पैसा और दान में चालू कर दिया देना? बाय हुक और क्रुक उसने कमाया है, और कमाने के टाइम उसमें कमाने के बाद उसके अंदर जो गिल्ट भरा, शायद उस गिल्ट को मिटाने के लिए उसने डोनेट किया, ताकि जो
I don't
जो
think
भी
there is
गलत
guilt factor over here. There is no guilt factor over here.
It could be.
There
Excellent. What excellent. The point which he was trying to make is that the guy with the assist background was also saying that morality should be given importance.
I am not
Okay,
denying that.
so the question is, are you denying a point that morality should not be given importance, or
yes.
rather, rather say a statement that morality is also taught in the educational institution?
Yes. So morality, with the donations that is coming in,
Let's not
moral
call into-
education can be more focused on.
Yeah, but let's not call into question the character of donors or anything of that sort, even remotely. Please.
Right. I just mean it could be a possibility that he realized probably like.
no, you are
like
making assumptions. You are saying that he's doing it out of guilt, so we shouldn't point out someone that.
उसी तरह से सर ने बोला ना, मैं स्कूल बिजनेस में हूँ, मैं जानता हूँ कि कैसे कैसे होता है. He did say that.
My only point is that was उसने गिल्ट से दिया या गिल्ट के बिना दिया, उससे फैक्ट पे फर्क पड़ता है कि मोरालिटी एजुकेशन में है या नहीं है? नहीं फर्क पड़ता है, राइट?
कैसे रिलेट करने की कोशिश करो, आप समझिए. उसने पैसे देने के बाद पहली बात बोली कि मोरालिटी को स्ट्रॉन्ग करो.
उसने पहले 800 करोड़ दे चुका है, अभी
हाँ.
150 करोड़ दिया तभी बोला हो.
हाँ, वही मैं बोल रहा हूँ. जब वो पैसे दे रहा है, वो बोल रहा है कि मोरालिटी को फिक्स करो.
We are drifting from the topic.
Okay.
It's not about an individual donor. It's about the point that he made. If
Okay.
you want to counter
And
the point
moreover-
that he made, you can
Okay.
counter it. Otherwise,
Yes.
we can move
Yes,
on.
and I also have a point to the person who spoke earlier. उन्होंने एक डिफरेंस बताया एड्स और मलेरिया के बारे में. अब एड्स और मलेरिया दो डिजीजेस है. एड्स एक ऐसी डिजीज है, वी कैन इन कमर्शियल, मतलब एक टेक्निकल टर्म्स में उसको एक कमर्शियल डिजीज बोल सकते हैं. उसका इलाज बहुत महंगा होता है और वो बिक्री पे होता है. वेयर मलेरिया काफी गवर्नमेंट फ्री में ट्रीटमेंट देना चाहती है ताकि वो सॉल्व हो जाए. नाउ व्हेन ही सेड कि काफी लोग मलेरिया से मरते हैं और एड्स पे जितना रिसर्च 25 गुना रिसर्च जाता है, तो अगर हम उस प्रॉफिट मोटिव को निकाल दें और जो मनी डोनेट होता है, whenever people donate money, they don't donate money with the intention कि मेरे को ROI चाहिए. तो जब वही डोनेटेड मनी इंस्टेड ऑफ अ मंदिर अगर मेडिकल रिसर्च में जाएगा और प्रॉफिट मोटिव नहीं रहेगा, तो ऑब्वियसली हम मलेरिया जैसी डिजीजेस को टैकल कर पाएंगे.
So okay, we have someone from this side. Yes.
Yeah. So we are talking on.
So that's your closing statement.
Yeah, sure. So we are talking under educational institutes. Yes. So let's make it very clear. Educational institutes में क्या होता है और ये सिस्टम कहाँ से है? ये है फॉरेन सिस्टम, और उसमें क्या सिखाया जाता है? हमने भी पढ़ा है. तुमको पहले बताया जाता है कि सन राइजेस फ्रॉम ईस्ट और वो सब, फिर तुम्हारा अलग सिखाया जाता है. एंड वी ऑल नो दैट इट्स नॉट सब्सटेंशियल. इंजीनियरिंग में बाकी अभी का सिलेबस ऐसा हो गया है कि तुम्हारा अच्छा हो गया है. सो आई एम नॉट टेलिंग दैट एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट्स आर बैड, बट व्हाट वी आर सेइंग हियर दैट ओके, these institutes teach you by hook or by crook कि मतलब मेरे को पैसा कमाना ही है, कुछ भी करना है. They teach you the most greediest way. Programming में एक होता है greedy program और एक होता है optimum program which is for time immemorial. So listen. यहाँ पे hook or by crook की बात होती है, और ये जो religious institutions है, they teach you to make money by value. और वैल्यू वाला मनी है ना, तुमको कभी तुम्हारे हाथ से कोई छीन नहीं सकता, और वो मनी 10 folds में तुमको ही प्रॉफिट करेगा और सबको प्रॉफिट करेगा.
Okay.
So this is the main thing.
All right. We'll take one last from the audience. She wants to say something.
I want to tell like the point made कि basic education rural areas में नहीं हो रहा है. अपने रिलीजन में साधु का आचार है विहार करना, रूरल प्लेसेस पे जाना, एजुकेशन देना. अपने शास्त्र में मैथ्स होता है, साइंस होता है, हिस्ट्री होता है, ज्योग्राफी होता है, लैंग्वेज भी होती है. द बेसिक एजुकेशन इज कवर्ड.
I think she wants to add something to this point, so I think I should give her a chance.
Firstly, I want to clear certain misconceptions that have been said during the debate. When you say hinsa to animals during research, it is no longer practiced. There is an ethics committee. You can research about it. Also, it's there. It says CPCSEA, which is a committee for protection of animals. So there is no hinsa. That was way older, many years ago. Abhi hinsa nahi hota animals pe. Okay, there is an ethics committee which decides if it is ethical to kill an animal or not. Second, naturopathy, I'm not going against naturopathy, but I'm just saying that if you are giving a example of naturopathy.
Just to add, dissection of cockroach and frog is still very common. So in 12th standard, it's still very common.
No, I passed 12th. I know. I have not dissected a cockroach and I haven't dissected a frog. So I can prove it to you with a fact.
Okay, complete your point.
Okay, second, naturopathy was more like the team for the social donation said. The naturopathy is more of preventive, which I agree because things like cancer. Okay, that is, what about a genetic disease? What about an infection which you cannot counter come what may? Okay, so that for that prevention and going to pray in a temple is not a cure. So I'm asking you a question. Would you rather spend the money in research for a stage 4 cancer or so that it can be cured, or would you rather spend it in a temple to go pray so that the person dies well? Right? Third, also education, I wanted to just agree with the team over here which said that education school plays a major part in the development of a child. And if you are including amount of morality in the syllabus of a normal school, you don't need to invest more in putting in the moral values. You might as well do that in an educational institution.
Okay, finally she's done with all the points. I think they were pretty much valid. She said that most of the medicines that have been tested are actually not been tested on animals. So she had to clear that as well. I'm sure these guys have something in counter they would like to counter on. Go ahead.
Firstly, at a lower level, so maybe 12th standard, it has been eradicated that you don't have to dissect animals. But at a higher stage, when you go further and for medical research, 100% guarantee that there is treatment and there is a lot of testing done on animals in medical research. Point one. Second, when you mentioned about AIDS at the moment, that it's a commercial disease, there is a reason why it's called commercial. It's also because it's a created disease. It wasn't existing in the earlier times. It's been created because this new education taught you to commercialize even diseases, and also if you have a certain kind of life, which is when you will get AIDS, whereas malaria is a mosquito. So that's a difference. Second, you further added on that schools and educations, you can have moral values there. But if you have temples, you need not inculcate those morals in the schools. Automatically, your culture at home, because of those religious institutions, will be inculcated, which is why in India, we see the crime rate is so low, whereas in USA, the crime rate, it's at rank 1.
All right, that's a very, very good point.
Aman, 1 point.
I'm sorry, one second, just wait. Nishkrit, you wanted to have a closing statement, or would you want to pass on the chance to someone else? All right, you can take it. After that, you're going to get a last closing statement.
Okay, so I would like to bring our attention to Pathshala and Upashray, which was missed throughout our debate. In Pathshala and Upashray, Guruji and Marasaheb teach us a wide variety of subjects, ranging from doing Chovya, doing Pratikaman, having high tolerance level, bringing your taste buds into control, controlling your anger, developing a positive mindset, and living a stress-free life. So what this does is changes our achar and vichar. So no heart problems, which results in no heart problems, no blood pressure, no cholesterol, high cholesterol, no obesity, hypertension. ये सब problem नहीं आते हैं. So what we do is reduce your patience for you. Also, we are not, taught not to steal, respect women's integrity and protect their shield, not to kill any human beings, not to break trust in partnership, and not to cheat in business. So what this does is reduces social evils as well, helps control theft, rape, murder, extramarital affairs, and also court cases between business partners. So these are unparalleled benefits and impacts in a person's life in all aspects of his life.
All right, the counter, one last closing counter that is going to be, please make note, that is the one last counter closing statement you're going to be getting.
So I think one of the line which the gentleman said was, अगर आप donation करते हैं तो उससे आपका आचार विचार दोनों शुद्ध होता है. So let me clear this point to you. We know as a fact that in India, on a shivling, when you are putting milk over it, that milk is going to the gutter. Literally, doesn't have any usage value. So let me tell you, आप जो exorbitant spending कर रहे हैं, आप एस्ट्रोलॉजी में बिलीव करते हैं तो भगवान पे महंगे से महंगा सोना चढ़ा के जाएंगे तो आपकी ये विश पूरी होगी. ये सब आपके बेसलेस बिलीव्स हैं, ये सब एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्बिडस डोनेशंस है. I am okay with the normal donations which you are doing for making temples. I am against the extra donations which people do in these beliefs, like extra milk spending, extra putting jewelry, so that भगवान मनोकामना पूरी कर देंगे. I feel that is wrong. That is my part.
And about the Maharasab teaching, yes, Jain Dharma is open to everybody and every religion, but not everybody will be comfortable to come to Maharasab to get the knowledge. But if you open school, then everybody can freely come and comfortably come to school to learn.
All right, beautifully said. So we are going to be closing with this. We have a jury member who would probably like to summarize the entire debate of what we've understood and what we would like to take back to our beds, probably discuss overnight.
So guys, I think everybody will acknowledge that this was the best interactive session which we had, and thanks to donors, thanks to Mahatmas who suggested a different set of topics, and probably I think tomorrow's morning session with this all kind of questions will become more interesting with Marasep, wherein he will take out each question and cut it in very small pieces, and your thoughts will also probably will cut at that point of time.
I think
What
real
is right
dissection is going to happen tomorrow morning.
Real dissection of thoughts will happen, and that's why I would urge everybody who is present over there to be sharp at 9 when the Saib Ji is here, because the tomorrow session could be extended up to 11:30 and it will be damn sure interesting, and I bet you. Because if the today's debate is so interesting, okay, how will be the solution? I would just like to summarize the certain points which were taken, and if I'm missing out, please maybe you can tell it to us after the session ends so that we can make it out to Saib Ji in very clear words. The first was on the reach. The question was, spirituality will reach, or the temples. Temples, again, I'm making it broader, religious donations, okay, which results into temple, upashrayas, or not of Jain religion, of also other religion. Okay, the reach of that, somebody in the audience well said that it is to the extent of 70 to 80% who are not atheists. Of the humans I am talking about. Whereas it is about to sick people, if you talk about, it is only 20 to 30%. But then there was a point that if you talk about education in the reach, it is required for 100% people. Okay, so the reach of the spend on education, okay, needs to be on 100% of humans. But then at the end of the session, there was a very good point on the universe which is being served. Whatever spend we do, we will be restricted to humans. Okay, if we are talking or thinking about somebody apart from humans, then there is something called many lives which are connected, and those lives could have been connected to a greater way by religious spending. But the other question which came on is that where the humans are not served well, how can we think about the other universe? And that's where probably the debate got ended, and we need to think through to the Sahib Ji to tell that where the reach is going and whose reach is far better as compared to the social spending or religious spending. This is the first point. I think if I have missed out anything, you can tell it after the end session ends so that I can jot down it and then we can put it to Sahib Ji. If you want to add it on the impact part.
Yeah, so we touched upon points like medical research, educational institutions, hospitals. So there's still a question which lies unanswered, which probably Saibji will answer, that whether we should spend on religious activities or religious organizations, or on spending on medical research, hospitals, or education. So we will get a clear answer tomorrow from Saibji, and maybe you want to add something?
Okay. Yeah, and the next topic after that was about educational institutes. Yeah. So yeah. So whether there are interesting points on religion with education and education with religion. The schools provide religious education, education institutes provide whatever. So in any case, like there were some interesting examples also put forward. Tapovan, for example, again, whether it is scalable or not, that's a valid question. So yeah, all these questions, compressed in a crisp form, will be taken to Saibji along with the other questions, and yeah, we look forward to the pravachan tomorrow.
And if you still have some specific question which has been missed out in this discussion, then you can note it down. We can take it offline, one-on-one, and then maybe you can also note it down for tomorrow morning's pravachan. So Saibji would answer that question as well.
Nayan bhai, I would like, yeah. Nayan bhai.
Anchor is so tired. He's sitting down.
Because
So
he has,
guys,
moved left, right, and upright. Everybody was wanting to discuss. Everybody was wanting.
Yeah, we are really happy that everybody got involved. It was very, very good to see everybody participating. Guys, we want, these all of you to come forward and do this every day. Means I think there's only 2 sessions left now. कल सुबह को 8 बजे पक्का सभी को ब्रेकफास्ट के लिए जाना है, because we can't make Saib ji wait for us. Today he had to wait for half an hour. He came at 9:30 and his time is 9 o'clock. तो आप लोग सभी से रिक्वेस्ट है, please come forward, get up early, say about 7 o'clock, and come to the breakfast room at about 8ish, not later than that, so that we can do the proper sadharmic bhakti of everybody without rushing. If you guys have any other ideas of making tomorrow's day even better than today, then we are inviting everybody to suggest a good topic so that we can ask you guys to come forward and enjoy this this kind of a session. But tomorrow's morning session is going to be a great one. Don't miss it. Every bit of it will be like encouraging for all of us. A lot of news, a lot of information which can help us for our future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nayan bhai. I think we should
of
actually
applause.
have a big round of applause for Nayan bhai, who
And
has
Kamal
actually
bhai.
been
Nayan bhai and Kamal bhai, both
and
the
Kamal
donors.
bhai, in fact, both the donors who have actually made this coach to really viable. And they are the only 2 people why we are actually here at Coach 2 and witnessing this brilliant.
And one, just
moment.
to add on what Aman said, these are the donors who don't feel like being donors. If we approach them, we feel like they are also a participants. So those kind of donors are these 2 personalities. Round of applause for
Give
them.
a big round of applause. In fact, a bigger one. Thank you very much. So आज के लिए we are going to be closing. We had a really intense and a very nice debate. So thank you so
Thanks
much
to
for participating. Thank you so much to the debates, to the participants, to the jury. Good night, Shubhratri. Let's meet tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Yeah, 11 वाजता या, please.